All right. Good day, model railroaders. How is everybody doing? See, we've had a few people sitting in the chat. We had Eagle Creek Railroad popping in about an hour ago, basically as soon as I started it. Always put it up about an hour early, give you guys a little bit of warning. Mike, HO Trains, evening all, see you at 6:59. Gee, Mike, wonder if you're back. There you are. Just saying hi to Wigwag. All righty. Awesome. John, how are you? And we got Wiggy Waggy popping in. And Nate Jackson, Steve 87 PSAP, how are you doing? Ray and where was that? Nate Jackson said that one. Dwight Curley, good day to you, buddy. Boxcar Jerry was just over hanging out with you when you said it was almost 7 o'clock, and it's like, oh damn, I gotta go. Yeah, I can get lost in some of your live streams. Just let them kind of go in the background and listen away. You talk about some pretty interesting topics, that's for sure. Joe Raider, Black Rock Central Railroad, lurking while eating. Yeah, I can't do that. So, Anthony Millport Junction, hey, hey. And it's nice to see everybody popping in saying hi. Ron Montag, trying to change the pronunciation. I always call you Montague for some reason, taking me back to the old high school days reading Romeo and Juliet. But anyway, so Hot Dog Pilot Andy, good to see you popping in. There's my brother Container Man 68. Hey, brother, how you doing? And Norman, Corey, good day. So it's nice to see everybody popping in. Hope everybody's had a chance to kind of read the description below. I'm going to be looking for a little class participation tonight. Put up the old StreamYard link. And there's Tim CP368 Productions, almost finished with work. Awesome, buddy. So I'm sure you'll be listening on your way home. That's cool. So a few things have happened over the last little bit, and it just kind of opened my eyes to how great this community really is. And then I got wondering what started model trains for people. So I wanted to share the story of me, and I know a few people they know the story already, but it's really come together through this community. I am that close to a dream come true for my layout, and no, that doesn't mean the layout's done. Long from it. It just means my childhood memory will actually be on my layout. And that impresses me. And it impresses me because this community helped me out with it a lot. Wigwag's been a member for 15 months and he's just for the emojis. And guys, that's all you need to do. Be a member for just the emojis and have fun with it. Don't do it for the money, that's for sure. If I did, I'd be going, hey, man, where's all my super chats? I got 150 wigs here to put on. Let's go. Get through them. Gary Shanks, how are you doing, bud? So I'm just going to start with my story. And then, like I said, the link there I put up in the chat. What I'm looking for is people to share their stories. Now, what got me into model trains to begin with, loving trains, Container Man, a member for 32 months. Holy jumping, bud. You started right at the beginning and never looked back. Awesome. And then from that story, I'm going to go over to how great this community is. I've got so many of those stories. Hopefully I get people that come up in the basement and they want to share their stories first before I have to share all mine. I've got tons of them, but I got 3 sitting here right now that I can share right away. Dwayne's Fork and Spoon Railroad. Hey, bud, I know you can come up. I know you're going to have a story to tell. Just how great is this community? What's this community done for you? What's this community done for me? What's it do for us in a whole, right? So my story is going to go back to when I was in high school in St. Thomas, Ontario. Hence why I've got this really big layout and this really big model of the Canada Southern station. Sits 5 feet on my layout, HO scale. I walked past that station every day going to high school. From my house, went up 3 blocks, I passed right over top of this rail yard that I've got modeled here. And every day that I walked past, and you guys can't see them really good. Every day I walked past to go to high school, I passed 3 GP7 Conrails idling in the yard. All 3 of them, same spot every day. But there they sat idling. And I would stand there 5-10 minutes, and I would just listen to them. And like I said, that's all they did. They idled. They the crews that worked these 3 locomotives worked at night. That's when all the yard work got done. All the switching. It was a major hub for southwestern Ontario. So trains would come in, drop off lines of cars, and like I said, these 3 locomotives, GP7s, high hoods, would sit there all day, and then at night they'd go to work. And they'd set out cars, they'd do this, do that, and then they'd run out and they'd do the locals. And they'd be back in time for morning. Crew would disembark, go to the crew quarters, which is a green building I've got on my layout. And again, I go to high school, and there was those 3 locomotives. The only thing I have to do to these is I have to paint bells on the front of them, right on their nose, right there. So I got to get 3 models of a bell, and they were painted red. And that's how you knew that the GP7s were from the St. Thomas Rail Yard. Not looking at the chat right now because sharing that story a bit. It just really takes you back. But that's what made me fall in love with trains. And then later on, just as I got married, of course, that was one of my first layouts that I actually started. Couple 4x8 sheets of plywood, couple pieces of track on it, couple passing loops, bit of switching. Didn't last long, obviously. The marriage or the layout. I shouldn't say that. Wife might be in here looking, ex-wife, but anyway. So yeah, it started my passion for model trains. Ever since I got into model trains in the basement, and that was one thing I wanted to do, is get 3 GP7s, high hoods, get those red bells on them. And you know what? All I want to do is put them on my layout and have them idle. They don't have to do any work because that's all I want to listen to. Again, is those 3 locomotives idling to take me back to my childhood. The whole reason why I love model trains. So guys, there's my first story. Posting the link again in the chat. If anybody wants to share their story of why they love model trains or what got you into trains, I'd appreciate you coming up and sharing your story. Now, the other part of this is the community. How great is this community, and what has it done for us? And one story I got to share now relates to my childhood memory. I put it out there a while ago to you guys that I was looking for DCC and Sound, Conrail, GP7 high hoods. And I've been asking you guys for about 2 years. Nobody makes them. And all of a sudden, Athearn has released these. And Thomas Grassi, I got to say thank you very much to you, bud. I know you're not in the chat right now. But Thomas Grassi didn't know how to get in touch with me. So he sent an email and messaged Heath. Heath did a group message. Thomas got me the information. I got on the computer. I did some emailing, some phone calls, and ordered the 2 of them. I now have 2 out of 3. So, hey, hats off to Thomas Grassi for helping me fulfill my dream. To Heath. And that is just one story. So like I said, guys, come on up on the chat if you got stories of this community or what got you into the hobby. I see we've got DB Tech popping in saying hi. Floyd Robbins saying good evening. And Dwayne's Fork and Spoon said hi to you. And like I said, you've got a story to tell. I know you do. Foltz Bailey Model Railroad. Hi, everybody. And I think I got everybody in the chat. Like I said, there's the link, guys. If you want to come up, share your stories. That's a major one of mine. Like I said, that's what got me into the hobby, into loving trains. And now it's put a flame under my ass to actually get some of this layout done again, because part of my dream's coming true. And again, thank you very much for the community, because people finally found it. I wouldn't have seen it. It was on Caboose Hobbies. I don't watch their channel too much because I probably buy too much. So I try to stay off their stuff. Model Train Aficionado Chris saying hi to everybody. DT and I Mainline, good day to you. So yeah, it was on there. And I'm pretty sure these are out almost everywhere now. But of course, as soon as he sent me the link to get them. Of course, I had to get them because, hey, I don't know if they're limited or whatever, but I wanted them. That's my dream. So I got them. This community, that's what it does, is it helps everybody out. You got problems with your layout, you put it in the chat. People help you out in the chat. You want something specific, people keep their eyes out for you. You're having problems with electronics or something, somebody will actually post a video to say, hey, Dwight, here, I'm trying to help you out. Here's Steve 87 was asking about how building silos and stuff like that. So I posted a video for it. I'm not saying I did that. I'm just giving these as examples, right? 2 stores have all 3 releases in stock. I know, Chris. I do need the one more, but I do need one more. So I will be looking for that 3rd one for sure. Dundas Junction Model Railroad saying hi to everybody. Good day to you, James. So yeah, that's my first story. That's my first big thank you to this community. Thomas Grassi, Henry Lewis, how are you, bud? Long time. How are you doing? Doing really good. Like I said, I'm pretty excited. I've had these now for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Already did their break-in period. Running them around the layout, having them sitting in the yard, just idling away. And just, I love them. They're just amazing. Well, to me, it's a gift. Yeah, I bought them and everything else, but I wouldn't have known they were out there yet. So, like I said, awesome. So I don't have anybody in my basement yet. Nobody wants to tell stories. This could be a short one. So another one, guys, like I said, I do these things called the YouTube meet and greet, 3rd weekend of May every year. And going to Colorado, Steve 87 PSAP. Hey, bud. Went well over and above. Everybody knows I love Conrail. So yeah, he goes out and spends a good amount of time, effort, and paints up a rail car. I love this thing too. This is on every passenger train that I run on my layout, has this on the end of it. DCC with lights, all decoder run operated, lights on the back that he's all done, marker lights, tail light, all interior lighting. The one lighting strip's actually falling down in there, so I have to actually open it up, but I don't want to open it up just in case I screw it up. But again, going to my YouTube meet and greet and Steve 87 PSAP, like I said, over and above and beyond type thing, making up a custom car. Even the number on the side of it, if I move my finger, you guys might be able to see it. Maybe. Probably not. But the name of the car is Sparky, and the number of the car was 107. And it says Greeley up top here. Sparky is the name of the car. And where'd the number go? I know there's, yeah, number there. Sparky 107. And it's Conrail. Yes, Chris, you're right. So, wow, man. Just makes me want to visit Colorado again so I can, maybe every year he can make me a set. After 4 years, I'll have a whole train. That'd be pretty cool. So, yeah, again, another time that the communities come forth, not asking for anything or anything. It's just something that Steve did out of the kindness of his heart and tickled me pink because, like I said, that runs. Yeah, I don't think so. Thanks, Steve. No, it's a once in a lifetime, for sure, bud. It's just, it's the things. How do you put it? Just, this community is awesome. Period. And these are some of the things that people have done. Now, going back to my YouTube meet and greet again, Strasbourg, Jerry, Boxcar Jerry, comes out for the day. We're all hanging out at the Red Caboose Hotel. And he comes over and says, here, man, I got something for you. And he had it all wrapped up and everything else. And picture of the 1223. But he did the frame on it. And again, just something very personal. But then, of course, I had lots of people sign it, or he had people sign the back of it. So lots of people that showed up that day. just the things that mean so much. And you know what? Without this community, what would I be? I'd be a guy probably still in my basement, operating model trains, maybe an hour a month. Wouldn't be a big deal. Just something to enjoy. But when my dreams ever come true, would I even have the dreams? I don't know. So I do have a couple guys in the basement. I'm bringing them up. Like I said, those are my two stories. That's what I want to hear from people tonight is what got you into the hobby? What hooked you onto trains or model trains? And what's the best? I'm not going to say what's the best. What is some of these things that this community has done for you or you've even done for the community? And it'd just be kind of cool to hear the stories from people. That's 3 of mine. I've got a lot more, but I'd rather hear from other people. So we got Artie down in the basement. So we'll say good morning to that guy. And we got Mr. DB Tech down in the basement. I'm going to bring him up too at the same time. They can fight for the airspace.
Okay, me too. All right. How you doing?
How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Good way to spend a Friday evening.
Yeah, just hit him. If we have one more guy, you could hit him right square in the head.
Yeah, we're doing fine here on a Saturday morning. I mean, I'm just trying to get some work done, and here you guys decided to delay my project.
Wow. It's part of being part of the community. Come hang out.
Yeah. Well, come over here and give us a hand. I need to get people on their backs on the layout. That's all.
I know I'd love to go back over to Australia, but I don't think it's right up there on the wife's list yet.
Well, don't worry about the wife. We can have more fun without her.
Oh, I know.
But then again, bring her over here. I'll send her somewhere where she can have some fun.
So we got, who else we got? We got Gary Shank saying hi to everybody, and Dave Atkins popping in. Nice to see you, my friend. Grandpa Rail saying hi to everybody. Nice to see you. So, Artie, what got you hooked into trains, bud?
I've got to say my stepdad. Well, I'll call him my father. He took me out rail fanning it from an early age. I think it would have been about 3, 4, something like about that. Down in the local rail yards, and then local industries. Some of them are gone now. Even some of the old wars, they're all gone except for one, but nothing serviced by rail anymore. And then he got me my first train set, and then he got me my second and third, and actually I still got the second and third set here in the boxes. Sadly, they won't be able to run on the DCC layout, but I'll make a special track for them one day. But yeah, that's what he got me into it. Then he made me a little layout, a small oval with a passing loop on a thin chipboard, and they were so light that I was able to, because I couldn't have it out permanent. So what he'd done was he'd done it in such a way where I can actually just lift it up and put it up against the wall. So every time I had my school holidays, drop it down or take it up to my bedroom, and school holidays I was running trains. Yep. So from there, just gradually, once I moved out of home, I was just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Just need a bigger house now with a shed.
Hey, a shed always works. Wife still teases me about that all the time. So yeah, you make a shed just for your trains. Like, well, no, I need it for the lawnmower. So. Hey,
I might do that soon. Get a shed. That might be the way to go.
I know a couple of people have done it. There's 2 other channels that have done it that don't post anymore. But
there was a house on the other side of the football field that went up for sale. They had 2 sheds. They had a garage and a shed. And I'm like, now that'd be good, but I didn't have the money for it. They wanted $750,000 for it. A little bit out of my price range.
I'm trying to figure out how I can rearrange my basement here, because this is where I work and repair things, but also there's like all these parts down here and bookshelves and everything else. And I'm thinking if I just throw all this crap out, put my layout down here, and have a workspace down here and my TV, that might work.
Never have to leave the basement again.
Yeah, right. So,
Go for it, Dave. What got you hooked, bud?
you know what? It's kind of funny, Sparky. This hobby almost ended as fast as it started for me. And what I mean by that is I started into it and I realized what the cost of things were. And I thought, this is ridiculous. This is supposed to be a fun hobby. What had happened was I was digging through a closet, putting up Christmas lights the day after Thanksgiving. And I found a box of trains that my mother had given me that was my dad's. And I kept saying, I got to do something with this. I got to do something with this. So I took the box and I set it aside. And I said, sometime this weekend, I got to at least go through that box and see what's going on. And little by little, I was putting up Christmas lights and cleaning out the bedroom that used to be my son's bedroom. He had moved out. And I'm doing things. And all of a sudden, I realized I got a spot to put trains. So then I had started going through the box and thought, okay, let's get a piece of plywood and set up some trains. And then I didn't know any better. I went on eBay to buy track. And, $100 later, just for a little bit of HO track, I thought, this is crazy, but I had fun because I had like a 3 foot by 5 foot space that I could put the layout in. And, so I messed around with it and had fun with it for a couple months. And then, it was January and I thought, am I going to put this away and take it down? Or what am I going to do? And then a train show or two came up and I started going to train shows and I started finding things. And I thought, oh, wow, I could buy a train for less than $10 and fix it. And then, I found all the deals that I could get at train shows and have fun with. So little by little, it just kind of, it was one of those things I wasn't sure how interested I was. I just wanted to get my dad's old train running. And I got that done. And then, the more I went to train shows and the more I played around and the more fun I had. And then, like I said, it was in my son's bedroom after he moved out. And I cleaned up that room a little bit more. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got space here for a 4x8 layout. And then it went crazy. So that was in 2018. That was Thanksgiving 2018, I guess, when that started. So, and then that's where I am today.
So just saying hi. We got Split Rock popping in, and we got Georgia Sunbelt Anthony saying hi to everybody, and everybody saying hi back, of course. So yeah, like I said, I want to share a few stories from the community too. I'm sure you guys got a few. Artie, you've got to have at least one by now. But another one I want to share is, again, my YouTube meet and greets tend to give me a lot of the memories that I've got. And my second one that I did, we did this rail car, dining car. I forget what I called it, but we all got to eat in a dining car. And it was catered, and they cooked on the actual dining car and everything. And I wish somebody would have got it on video because, again, it just tickled my fancy. Just halfway through the meal, Wilmer stands up and he's like, just want to thank Sparky for putting this on and meeting all you guys for the first time. And then, of course, you got it's not bad. And everybody just went, yeah, like really brought the whole community and the group together. And there had to be 50 of us on the dining car at the time. And the people that were working it were just kind of like, okay, that was cool. So like I said, I'm just sharing a couple of my stories that I've been doing this for almost 10 years. I've got a couple, but like I said, I'd rather hear from you guys. So
hey, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy. How are you? I gotta say, my best highlight to date would be my recent trip to the US, meeting all your people. I mean,
great to see you, Artie.
With the showstopper that we had over here, I think in some ways that was a good thing. It did bring a lot of people and a lot of communities together. And we formed a nice little camaraderie between us. And when we look at a lot of the chats and that, there's about an average 30, 40, 50 people that constantly or regularly follow everybody. But to be up at the Amherst Rail Show, the model show up there, and meeting everybody in person, for me, that was, to date, that was the biggest highlight of my modeling career, you can say. And then personally going around visiting people like Joe and Rainbow Bell and seeing Rick Bailey and everybody else. I mean, yeah, I've been in the dumps and whatnot with what I've been going through, but that was a big pick me up. I mean, that was like a hit of a drug or some sort of thing. But it was great to see how many people band together, and so many people are just so real, as what you see when they do pop up on live screen.
Yeah, I've got to say on that, Artie, a lot of you folks have picked me up a lot of times, and I know I think we picked up Sparky a couple of times. You know, you don't know what to do, and you go to a train show or you go to a meet and greet, and you meet some folks, and you're like, hey, you know what? This is fun. This is what I like to do.
I just wish I could make it to the meet and greets, but with everything that's going on around here, I just can't get out there.
Well, you made it to the one at Mini Prince. Like, we've got lots of smaller meet and greets that come up all the time. So you did make it.
Once things settle down with what I'm going through here, I will be coming over a bit on a more regular basis. So look out, people. You've been warned.
Well, great to see you, Artie.
And there's Barnabas Junction popping in the chat, saying hi to everybody. And again, another story that I've got. Like, I took off to the UK for 10 days, and 5 of those days were given to me by the wife to hang out with model railroading and stuff. And Barnabas Junction and Rachel, his wife, took the time for 5 days to drive me around the UK and show me the sights. And again, just this is the community that we're part of. This is what people do.
There is one person in the community I really, really want to thank, and that's Steve 87 PSAP. Thanks for the work that he's done, and a couple of other guys in the community as well. They band together and get the money together to have me scanned at Mini Prince's booth. I mean, really, I haven't had the opportunity to thank you, but I think this is a great time to do it. Thank you, Steve, for organising that. That blew me away. And my biggest highlight, I think, of the meet and greet wasn't meeting this guy here next to me, Sparky. But it was Almar when he turned up. It wasn't just him and his wife. He brought the whole damn gang there. He brought his son, his daughter, and their partners, and the grandkids and everything else. I mean, hey, that's that's a big fanfare there. That's a big fanfare. That just blew me out the water. Yeah.
No, I enjoy. I've met a lot of good people. There's some people around here, like in New Jersey and in central Pennsylvania, that I always see at train shows, and have fun to going to the train shows. Nick, Dave Griffin, Plummer, different folks that I go to train shows, and I know that I'm going to see them. RJ, I always see him. And that's just the fun of, you can go to a train show, but when you go to train shows with friends and, you see what other people bought and talk about it and see what they're working on. And I've had a good time. I've actually traded some stuff. Like I've bought stuff at train shows that were a bargain because I bundled some stuff. And I was like, well, this is nice, but I really don't like it, or I really don't need it, or I'm not going to use it. And I can share that with somebody else. And then somebody else, the same guy says, oh, well, here, I got some passenger cars I don't need. You can have these. And that's happened several times where somebody said, here, I'm not using these. You can have them. And I said, well, here, I'm not using this. You can have it. And that's a great thing, too.
I do that. I do that from time to time. But the funniest moment for me in this last one in Amherst was when Plummer came to pick me up, And like I had a look at where we're going to be, where the show and that is. He's picked me up from the station, and we're going for a drive, and I go, Plumber, I don't think we're on the right road. I think we're going way too far. We should have been doing that. He actually drove all the way to Amherst. I'm like, no, we're going the wrong way. We just had to go across the river. Oh, no, the GPS says we've got to go here. I mean, I wasn't holding a GPS, but I already looked at it and go, we're going the wrong way. Yeah, we did eventually get there. About 2 hours later. Excuse me. Yeah. But that was
So if there's anybody in the chat that wants to come up and share their story, I've been posting the link there to the StreamYard. Come on up and share. Like, I always want to hear from everybody. I'm sure we've all got a story that we can share. Like I said, what got you into the hobby, or what got you hooked on trains? That's always a great story to hear from everybody. And this community, what's it done for you, or what have you done for the community, or in a whole? Like this community, like you guys said, it does bring you up quite a bit. You're starting to feel down or something. Just go and tune into a live stream that's pretty much on every day, every night. Always full of kicks and stuff like that. Join the live stream. Heck, put the link up. Don't leave me hanging, damn it. But no, like this community for me alone, like everybody sits there and says, I do so much for this community. And I sit back and I look at what this community's done for me. I can't help but give back to you guys. The meet and greet's just part of it for me. Putting that on, getting everybody together. For me, a lot of it is the people getting you guys together, because like you said, during the showstopper, this is what we had for family, was hanging out with each other just to keep our sanity, because we were all stuck in the house. We couldn't go out. We couldn't do anything. We were stuck with our layouts, and that became a drag pretty quickly. Like, how much can you really do to your layout before you just want to start hitting with a hammer? Right? Like, damn thing ain't working. The train keeps shorting out. Like, all this crap keeps going on. You got to bring up the community to bring yourself up. Other people have had the same problems that you've had. It's always been out there. There's a video for it. It's been in the chat. Everything. Life with Roscoe. Nice to see you, bud. Like, come on up, Wiggy Maggie. I know you got stories.
I had that situation this past week, Sparky. I was trying to test the train in a certain section of track. The trains kept derailing. I was like, yeah, I know. I got to fix that section of track. And I'm trying to test the train. And I'm like, you know what? Stop what you're doing. Fix the doggone track. And let's start from there. So I ended up tearing up, like, you know, a whole corner of a track, pulling it up. And then I had to even out the layout and then re-glue the track and start over with it. So now it's running fine. So now when I test it, I'm like, okay, it's not the train that's a problem. Or I mean, it's not the track that's a problem, it's the train. So then I know what I'm working from. So yeah.
Well, that's what I'm currently doing now, as well as redoing the putting another passing loop and redoing the top section, because I've got a couple of spots that's actually the track work. It's not the trains itself. Man, it's a lot of work when you got it all together, but at the moment I need to pull it apart, and we keep getting these storm warnings and that, so everything's out the tarpaulin outside.
Sitting down with a hammer.
It's all right. I've got the chain. I'll sharpen the blades on the chainsaw, just getting it ready to put the chainsaw through it. But
yeah, you have to stop what you're doing sometimes and go back to the track layout. You know, you got to have good track layout is important, because it's just so frustrating if your track isn't right. It just makes it all not fun.
Yeah, well, I got roughly about, like, I'll go to the surgeon again on 22nd. So I've got roughly about a month to get it all sorted out, and I really got to get to it. But my right hand and my shoulder's really playing up. My hand's playing up the worst. And it's a struggle. Like, I'll go onto it and I'll work for about 10, 15 minutes, but I'm in that much pain. It takes me a good hour just to recover from the pain in my hands, because I can't use them. So it's a slow, drawn-out process. my buddy Richard, he can't help me. He's working. He works 6 days a week. He'll come around and give me a bit of a hand every now and then, but he's been busy working. So I'm on my own. Once I get it done, it'd be good. But I tell you what, I'm never going multi-level again. Never, ever, ever am I going multi-level. Too much work. But
like
and there's
working.
another great person in the community, Tammy.
Yeah.
Things that she does for the community. I mean, she getting about and whatnot when we're up at Springfield and Amherst, people getting stuck or whatnot coming over. She's on the phone constantly finding someone to help with someone else out. She was on a full ball, full time. She was just, such and such needs a lift from here to there. And she was constantly there for everybody. Tammy, she is the queen of our queen of our community, I can say. She was just fantastic with the things that she was doing.
Well, I got a couple more people in the basement. I'm going to bring them up just so they know they're coming up. I'm going to leave everybody on. I think I can have 9 up here. So everybody can drop off when they feel like it. But hey, just hang out, man.
No, I enjoy helping other people with projects too, because I just had somebody send me an email today about something, and yeah, sure, I'll help you out with it, because then takes me away from my projects and get involved in somebody else's. But yeah, go ahead.
We got K&R Custom Models.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for joining, bud. And then we got Steve 87 PSAP, who we seem to be talking about tonight. So you're a great part of this community, bud.
Well, thanks, Sparky. Appreciate that. Yeah, so let's see. I'm trying to think of my story. Well, I guess I have a couple of stories of more people that I've helped, and in the way the community inspires people and all. So I started modeling decades ago, back when I was a little kid. I actually had a big, I was into Tonka trucks and Matchbox cars and things like that and all. And then I got into 1/87 scale cars and trucks. And I actually only got into model railroading to do something with my cars and trucks. That's really why I got into model railroading, because it's like, how else am I supposed to display these things, right? So, that's kind of what my start was in the whole model railroading thing. I'd been kind of in and out of it a little bit, but it wasn't until I got doing that I started doing some things. So let's see, a story. So probably one of the big stories of helping was the first time that Walters had their contest on to go ahead and build something.
Yeah, their build contest.
Yep. So I have this big project in mind, like everybody does. They want to have they want to have a big layout at some point in time that does thing. And so I decided to make a chicken feed factory.
Anthony, look up.
and what was really cool was the fact that everybody was so supportive, because I was putting videos up along as I was building it and things like that. So
awesome.
It was encouraging to keep going along, and then actually hoping that I would even get a mention on the Walters thing, but which that didn't all happen, but everybody else's comments and all that really kind of helped me get through all that, which was kind of cool. And I still have it up today. That's just sitting here in my room. So that's kind of one of my big stories on what the community can do.
K&R Custom
Where do you live, Steve?
Seattle, Washington, basically.
Okay.
See, now I kind of thought that would be a story that you would tell without even giving names, but you've really helped somebody in your community, local community, out quite a bit. So
yeah, I have. Yep. And unfortunately, I'm going there, I think, this weekend to finish tearing down that layout. So.
Yeah, she's had a rough go of YouTube period, but
Yeah.
and a few other things. But I appreciate you right around, like in the community aspect and what you do for the hobby and what you do for the community and what you've done locally too. So you're very supportive all the way around. So it's really cool. Great to
Thanks.
meet you. Great to see that you got scanned by Mini Prints, so everybody can go over and get a mini me of Steve 87 with a hard hat on.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun out there in Colorado. So
Now we'll go over to KR Customs.
Okay. Well, I have one regret that I haven't been able to make any of the meet and greets, but between living in Alaska and coming
Yeah.
to South Carolina, building the man cave for the last 4 years, I haven't had any extra time or money to just blow away. So anyway, I'm in South Carolina right now at the man cave, and I'm getting ready to go back in about 2 weeks to Alaska to work all summer again.
Oh wow.
But I've had a fun winter, as you guys have been following along.
Mhm.
I started out with an empty upstairs, and now I have a running layout. So that's been fun. But what got me started into trains, my dad was in the military, and he and my brother set up a Lionel train layout when I was in diapers still. I was probably maybe 2 years old at the most. And they had the Lionel Santa Fe war bonnets with the passenger trains, and that hooked me. So I became fascinated with trains at a really young age. And then when I was 10 years old, Lionel came out with their HO scale trains, and my dad bought me an HO scale Santa Fe war bonnet passenger set. So that started me out, built my first HO layout. And that lasted until about, I don't know, junior or senior in high school. And we moved to Texas, and I started another layout there in HO. And then about that time, N scale popped out, and I really got sucked into N scale. I did a lot of N scale. And then right after I graduated high school, I went into the Air Force and kind of just got out of trains altogether. And then about, I don't know, 10 years later, I got married, and some guy, when I got to Alaska, gave me an N scale set. So that started the train thing all over again. And then I met a really good friend in Alaska who has N scale and O scale. And he.
oh no, we lost your sound.
Yeah, I think you muted yourself.
Yeah.
Your mic's still on here, so
We got to learn to leap parade now.
everybody wave to him.
Hey, what? Oh, now
Now in
he's
our
frozen.
customs, we lost your sound, so we got
Yeah.
Anthony Georgia. Oh man, I can't even say that one. I'm trying to put
Yes,
in
Roscoe.
there.
Anthony from Georgia's Sunbelt.
Hey,
How hard
thanks,
is
Steve. You're such a great part of this community. Oh man, see, that's why my camera's off.
Hey,
I
it's my
just-
chauffeur.
I just gotta remember to do one thing before I come over next time, is to grow up another foot or two, because you guys are so bloody tall over there.
You're just saying that because Anthony's on now.
It's just us,
No.
just me and Sparky.
Artie, you got to tell me next time you're going to be spending 7 hours in DC. I could have come and got you, man.
Oh man, I always having a great time in DC. I mean, there was a lot of wildlife from out there. I was actually observing. But yeah, next time I will. Yeah, next time down that way I will. Give you a buzz there, Anthony. But I had a good look around. The station itself and just around that area where Union Station is, for me, it was like a puzzle. You know, how's everything work? You know, all the trains are going underneath, where they coming out, and all that, and just taking in the sights. And I actually learned a good trick over there too, because as some of you know, I've got a bad habit of smoking. Is like you go outside to have a cigarette, and you got the locals all coming up. Oh, have you got a spare cigarette? Have you got a spare cigarette? You probably get that too, don't you, Sparky?
Oh yeah.
They're not locals, are they? They're homeless.
Yeah, I'll try to put it politely, okay? But I found a good. I worked out a good trick to stopping them from doing that. So I'm sorry, I'm on my last smoke, and I managed to keep an empty pack, and I go, look, you see, I don't have any more left. So every time I have a cigarette, they go, oh, have you got any? And I go, sorry, that's my last one.
Oh, I'm going to keep that one in mind, Artie, because it happens a lot when Amy takes me places.
I tell you what, I learned real quick, but then I had to find little corners where I can actually go and have a cigarette. But it was actually interesting. It was freezing cold there, but excuse me. But it was actually interesting to look around the airport and look around with the sights. I mean, I do have some more photos on the other phone, which I will eventually put up, and I will put eventually I'll put up a bit more on my trip. But at the moment, everything's on hold because I'm having legal issues over here, which is a result of my wreck that I had in 2020. And I can't. I've been advised by my lawyer do not put too much out there because the other insurance company is using that as evidence, and they're trying to bring my payment component down. So
all right, so we'll stop talking about that then and get back to what you like about the community. Your insurance company's watching me, so
well, they don't know that I'm here, so I'm fine now. But I am looking forward to coming over a bit more often. Once things settle down, I am looking forward to coming over there and hanging out with you guys a bit more often. I mean, hanging out with you bunch over there is more fun than hanging out with the bunch over here. But there's only about 2-3 that's worth hanging around with here.
We got K&R Customs back. Let's see if we can finish this story.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Everything just kind of went out. You guys were all there, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I didn't change anything or do anything. And we got a really good Wi-Fi system here. So anyhow, my friend retired too young, too early, and started going broke. So he sold me all of his O-scale stuff. And so my collection became ridiculous. And then I ended up buying a couple of estates because people had seen a newspaper article. Anyway, I finally moved to South Carolina. And fortunately for me, I have a boss who owns an airline. And he approached me one day and he says, hey, you need to get all your trains to South Carolina, right? I said, yep. He says, well, I got a plane flying to Miami. You can get a U-Haul and drive it up from there. I said, that sounds great. He says, how many pallets do you think you're going to have? I said, oh, I don't know, 5 or 6. He said, well, get it palletized and we'll load the airplane. Well, we ended up with 12 pallets and 7,500 pounds of trains.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyway, the only thing it cost me to get them from Alaska to South Carolina was the U-Haul rental and the gas from the U-Haul.
Wow,
So
that's
what a
pretty
blessing that was. So anyway, that was a big load off of my mind. But I've only been down here now. This is my second winter, and really it's the first winter in the house that's livable and complete. And I got here in November, started the layout, and I've already met 2 gentlemen who have trains and layouts here in Columbia, which is about an hour drive from here.
Okay.
And I think you guys might have seen some of their YouTube. I've linked some of their guys. Boeing's Trains is one of them. And the other guy's named Butch. But I'm going down tomorrow to Butch's house and help him get his layout wired and get all of his electrical and his switch machines and all that. So I enjoy fixing things for people and doing things, it's just like, just helping people is where I enjoy it. And I started a YouTube channel just because.
Do you see that question? Where in South Carolina are you?
I'm in Lawrence, just
Lawrence.
south of
Wow.
Greenville, a few minutes.
Yeah,
About an hour north of Columbia.
I used to live in Greenville.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You're not too far away in Georgia there.
No, I'm actually in Maryland now, not Georgia.
Oh, you moved to Maryland.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So Anthony, you got your ticket for the meet and greet?
I got my tickets. Yep. I got my train ticket. On Friday, the other ticket, I haven't got that, but I don't know who's going to be there Friday. I don't know if I'm going to get there in time for that and maybe meet you guys, somebody there for dinner later on or whatever. But I don't
I
know.
plan on going up Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jim Thorpe train, the last one's at 3:00. So, and that's just something I'm throwing out there that I'm going to do because it's a very scenic ride and it's only like 90 minutes long. So, but officially we're starting on the 18th. So,
Well, this is my last summer to work in Alaska, so in November I'm planning on pulling the plug and retiring. So maybe next year I can attend some of these meet and greets and other shows. I want to get to York as well.
You're gonna have to get, Rich, you're gonna have to get in contact with Tammy, mum and son training rail fan. She's down in your neck of the woods too.
Oh, she is? Okay, well, I'm subscribed to her. I didn't know where they were at. But
Yeah, they're down at Kershaw,
Oh.
near the gold mine there. I tell you what, their layout is actually their train sheet is actually quite impressive. The videos don't do it justice. So I've spent a good 2 weeks with them down there, and I tell you what, the ideas that they come out with is just blows you out. But to see what she's done and created, it's just wow.
yeah, I've seen some of their YouTube videos. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Just
Well,
watch out for that.
yeah, I want to get over to Georgia Sunbelt. I got to know what's got you hooked into trains. You look more
What
like
got
an
me
airplane guy.
I look more like a what?
You look more like an airplane guy.
I'm gonna have to leave, guys. My son.
I actually do design aircraft engines, but but what got me into trains? Wow, as a kid, I live eyesight to the Georgia Railroad, and also there was a big what do you call those things? It was a wood place, pulpwood place, and you know they had a big those burning teepee things. You know what I'm talking about? The teepee burners, I call them, and I could see that thing would glow at night. But I used to walk over and watch them switch that area during the daytime. So I watched Georgia Railroad switch that, and that actually got me hooked into trains. It was just like I just liked the power of watching them big engines grumble and moan, you know, and move stuff around. And then my grandfather, who lived down in Rennes, Georgia. I grew up in Thompson, Georgia, but my grandfather, who lived in Rennes, Georgia, lived right next to the Central of Georgia line, and I used to see those Central of Georgia trains go back and forth. And so, I mean, that got me hooked as a kid right there. And plus, he was a Gandhi dancer. If you guys don't know, I hope you guys know what a Gandhi dancer was. When Central of Georgia was actually built, it was built as the Savannah in Atlanta, and he was a Gandhi dancer when they built that railroad, working the rails. So just as a kid, I just always loved trains. So it started way back then. So, but
And of course,
and
the
so
community.
the community. Oh, I didn't even know about the community. I think the first YouTube video I saw about anything model railroad was what was that guy's name? Monster Railroad or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Monster was the first video I ever saw, and I didn't even know there was a such thing as YouTube video with trains. And then from there I started like doing searches, and that's when I just started finding different things, you know, about YouTube trains and people, you know, things like that. And then how did I get hooked up with all you guys? I don't even remember. Somehow I think I started posting a video or two, and people started subscribing to my channel, and that's how I found out about what's all you guys, you know.
You're thinking people actually watch my videos? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So
Yeah, we all feel that way.
I think
Yeah,
you showed
How
up at
long,
my
have,
second.
how long have you been in the hobby, Anthony?
I started building my first railroad. Let's see, I've lived in this house.
Did I touch something?
I don't know.
No, he's sinking.
I don't know whether
Are
he's
you
thinking or if
frozen?
he's frozen or what.
It's got something to do with that bottom corner.
I asked him a question and it went.
And now
What?
No, we've lost him. See, that's
Oh no!
It
way to
looks
go,
like it's-
Dave. Way to go.
Yeah, all I did was touch my mic too and try to turn it down a bit because I think
Sorry about that.
it looks
what-
like
what
it's
happened?
You were very deep thought there, Anthony.
You started thinking and you just kept thinking.
Oh, because all I saw, the screen went black, and all I saw was little circles. I was like, I thought my Wi-Fi died, but I could still see my television was still going, and I'm streaming. I was like, I don't know what happened, but I forgot what was the last thing I said. I don't remember what you guys
I
last heard.
was asking how long have you been in it? And,
Oh, okay.
On top of that, you have a pretty big layout in your basement. Did you start out big, or did
No,
you have like
well-
a smaller one? Or
Well, what happened was I started out very small about 7, 8 years ago, and I started building. In the beginning, it was just going to be a little short switching layout, and then then a couple years in, a year or so into it, my wife passed away, and I just stopped doing stuff, and then I started back. Probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. But then I had all this room down there because, my son went to college, and I had a big weight workout area that I got rid of. So I just started expanding stuff. And right now it's about 14 wide by 32, 35 long, something like that. Yeah. And I first, the beginning part, I did actually design it on what was AnyRail. I did the beginning on AnyRail, but after that, I was like, I don't feel like spending all this time on AnyRail, so I just started drawing stuff out on paper to see if I liked it. Then I started laying it out, and so the rest, about 70% of it's just me drawing out on paper, then just laying stuff out, So
yeah, I had some ideas to begin with, and then you start. You're like, well, I got some space over here. Let's see if we can fit a little more there. And you just kind of, it evolves on its own.
yeah, and that's exactly what mine did. I mean, it's a sort of irregular shape because I had to leave an area wide enough in my basement to get around. My stairwell in my house is in the center. It's not like on the side, and so I had to get around the stairwell, leave space to get around that stairwell to go around to my son's bedroom and bathroom in the basement because that's where he was, and so I got this area that's only about I left about a 3 foot wide, but what it did was on the layout side, it kind of crunched it down, and I got this spot. Actually, I don't know what to do with right now. Right now, I just got where I've got a lift out section, but I don't really like it. I really would prefer something that goes up and down or rotates, but actually I don't know how to do that right now in that spot. So, but it's still, I can still run trains by putting in the lift out section. So
you want to put a lift out in there?
it has a lift out now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I built the lift out. I just used dowels. I line drilled the lift out with dowels and put dowels in the lower part, and so that it would always line up. So I have no problem with that, but I don't really like it. I prefer something that's easier to get in and out, like one of those things like this.
So
Or
you're saying lift up? I mean, you have a whole section you have to pick up and move
pick
out
up,
of
yeah,
there,
move
as
out,
opposed
yeah,
to something that's on a hinge.
right, instead of a hinge or a gate kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Maybe
right now,
you got to talk to John number 2. He's got that whole system that kind of lifts up with a push of a button.
Right.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But no, it's been great meeting all you guys. I think the first one of Sparky's things I went to was up in the one with the when we ate dinner in the rail in the dining car.
yeah. So that was Steamtown.
Yeah, Steamtown. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of it. And that's when I actually physically met a lot of people, made a lot of good friends. Me and Dave become good friends. I've been to his home, he's been to my home. He's actually coming down here next month before Timonium. He's going to stay with me.
So see, you remember that story that I was telling?
Yeah.
Where Wilmer stood up and did that.
Yeah, I was at-
Nobody
I was at-
got that on video.
I know. I was at the table with Wilmer. I was sitting at
I
the
know.
table with Wilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was just awesome. So like I said,
It was actually Anthony, when you stayed at Dave's place, did you get attacked by the Jedis?
Oh yeah, his son has the biggest Star Wars collection
Oh.
you wouldn't believe.
wow.
Oh, here I'm sleeping in the bed, and I moved my head and whatnot. I had a half a dozen of those stormtroopers fall on top of me. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
I didn't have that happen to me, but you know, they were all over the place. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
So we got two
Yeah.
more joining in. We got James Regier down there. Big smile.
All right, I'll drop out then.
Yeah, you can stay there if you want.
Hey, all.
Like I said, I can have up to 9 people up here, so
Yeah.
or
Well,
12 or
kind of gets
whatever.
crowded.
Yeah.
Let me catch you on the other side.
But James,
Yeah.
what got you hooked into trains, bud?
I blame my parents.
What, they dropped you when you were a kid or something?
Well, my dad, when he heard I was on the way, rushed out and ordered the Lionel set for 1980, whatever it was. I think it was a Great Northern set, and so it's been heading that direction since I got here, I guess.
And all about this community. Like, what brings you to it?
Well, it's I'd guess a lot of it, like growing up, had sort of been lone wolf. You know, we lived about a half hour or more away from the nearest clubs. You know, we were out in the country, and so it didn't seem worthwhile to go driving in to town for each time we wanted to go do that kind of thing. And so we tried to set up the layout in the basement, and it's been much more recent after moving to St. Louis, really, that I really realized that community is a big part of it, and that was kind of a missing part of it. I think probably K10's model trains in Maryville, Illinois. And Sparky, if you come down for the RPM meet, or if anyone comes out for the RPM meet, K10's a must-see.
Oh, I got dibs on that spare bedroom you offered. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, right.
I'm still trying to work it into the schedule, but there's a good possibility. About 75% there.
All right, sounds good.
Am I the only one hearing the echo?
Yeah. Stevie still got a YouTube on? Or James, I mean.
I think I got YouTube muted. Yeah, I do have YouTube on, but it's muted.
I talk. I hear the echo.
You hear the echo when I talk?
No, when you talk.
When I talk.
No,
I
I
hear
hear when you talk.
I hear it when you talk, Sparky.
Yeah. It's gone now.
Because I haven't said anything.
Oh. No, it stopped for some reason.
Well, I just muted again. I don't know if it's on my system. I mean, I just saw you guys on here. I'm just doing off my laptop. I don't have a webcam or microphone or anything like that.
All right, you're coming across very clear. And now
But
sounds
yeah,
like everybody.
I was actually sitting out here on the patio going to edit the next article, and then, of course, I got to procrastinating and then looked on YouTube, and there you were.
Where are you that is still light outside?
St. Louis. Yeah, so it's the sun's starting to go down, but it's still pretty nice out.
It's pitch black dark here.
Yeah, it's a nice blue skies over here. I'll have to go
All right,
out
so I
and do-
did mute my mic there for a minute. Now it seems like it's gone. So, and Tim 3C. So, man, I can't even read. Tim, how are you?
You changing my name to C3PO or something here?
Yeah, it was pretty much that too. I was just gonna that did it with Anthony too. So, oh, getting late. I was just looking at James. He's got full sunlight behind him. I'm looking out my window and it's pitch black. It's like
I know.
like
Not
next
pitch
time's
black
on over.
here.
But
It's still blue sky. It's just really dark. It would be lighter if it wasn't overcast. But I can see the sky very easily from here. See the outline of the tree.
yeah,
How
I can't
over
if I
my
move
body.
over. So I'm looking right at my garage. So Gremlins in the system a little bit, but one of us must have had YouTube on. So, but Tim, you got some stories for us? What got you hooked into trains, bud?
Living next to the railroad.
Yeah, you're pretty close. You can walk to it. You're a block away. So,
I was less when I got hooked into trains because I was living right next to the tracks. The kitchen window of our apartment that I think I've shown that building on a video a while back. The kitchen windows are like 10, 15 feet from the rails.
Wow.
yeah, I think that's the place your mom showed me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And every time a train went through when I was home, I had a pad of paper right by those windows, and I would run to those windows and write down the power of the train, and sometimes the cars and special things I saw on the train. And I wish I could find those. I have them all someplace. I wish I could find them because they would be nice to fill in the holes from the pictures and Rare Pictures archives, because not every time that I recorded a train going by on paper was there a rail fan in the area to record it on camera.
and community, what do you get out of this? You got some good memories out of this community, or?
Well, most of my memories are actually you, and that's about it. Because I have met a total of 3 of the people from the YouTube community: you, Alex Brockway, and Pearson from Race Fan. And Pearson only kind of sort of because we were at the RIT booth, the Lakeshores NMRA booth at the RIT show, but he didn't say anything to me. So it's he told me afterwards when I uploaded the video that it was me sitting at the thing. It's like, you could have said something, but see, we've seen each other in person twice now.
Yeah.
Going to be 3 times.
That's cool.
Alex and I had met twice because he was at the Batavia Train Show. I bought that SP Switcher off of him. But other than that, the only thing from the community I really have an experience with is back in 2018 or 2019 when Vinny came across my channel and promoted my channel on one of his live streams back when everybody was doing that. And I went from like 20 subscribers to 50 subscribers.
Nice.
Other than that, don't really have much from the community. It's mainly my own personal meeting rail fans around here. And now
When
being
you said
in
Batavia,
Lakeshore's division in the NMRA. Yeah.
are you in Batavia, Ohio?
No.
Is that the area you're in?
Nope. Batavia, New York.
Oh, New York. Okay.
The city of 15,000, halfway between Rochester and Buffalo. A little south of that line, but basically halfway between.
Did you say 15,000?
Has a train show. Has a train show in April and October. Every October or November, every year, except the Showstopper put 2.5 of those shows off. Every year that has, how many tables do we have? 120 tables and 80 vendors, or is it 120 vendors and more tables than that? They were just talking about it, the Ops Around the Clock, because one of the guys that was doing the layout, two of the guys were doing the layout or set up that show. And I can't remember which figure it was. But
Let's jump over to Ron.
Good afternoon, guys.
How are you doing?
Hey,
Well, I'm
Ron.
doing good. Well, you know, it's funny you was mentioning about, you know, the community. So, Sparky, you actually got me into the community because, you know, during the pandemic, it wasn't much to do. And I had got into watching YouTube. And I think DJ from DJ's Trains was like one of my biggest heroes at the time. And then all of a sudden, one day, Sparky threw on this kind of like advertisement thing, said, "Oh, come on to Strasburg and meet DJ from DJ's Train." It's like, cool, I get to meet DJ from DJ's Train. But it was funny because at the time, I never heard of Sparky. But it's funny because I found out later on, I actually seen some of his videos. I actually saved them on YouTube. And while I was at the show, or well, when I was at Strasburg, I met, you know, everybody. And it was funny because I think I had asked Ray Bobel, I said, "Look, man, I'm not a YouTuber, but is it okay if I hang with you guys?" I said, "I just really came to meet DJ. But from that day on, I think everybody that I met there, I had like maintained some type of like communication establishment like ever since. But I just like from that day on, I just like realized like, wow, man, I've been into the hobby like my whole life, like basically from the age of 5. And I never really been a part of a community or a rail club or anything. And I was just like really taken in by like the love and you know, the whole community itself, how like we just really bonded and, you know, everybody does their own thing, but it's like we appreciate what each other doing and, you know, what we do. Like, for example, I don't judge anything that you do versus what I do or somebody else because we all learning from each other. And that's the thing I got out of it. Like, I got a little bit from each person, and I think, you know, probably they got something from me too. And that was a part I really enjoyed about the whole, you know, community.
Yeah, there's definitely no outsiders in this community. Like you show up at an event, either a train show or a meet and greet or whatever, and there's no standing off on the side. You just got to walk up to the group and everybody's going to be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
The biggest thing is introduce yourself because most of the time we don't know what you look like. So
Yeah, because I didn't know one single person there other than, I mean, I knew DJ from, you know, chatting back and forth, but that was it. But I mean, like I said, it was like I met everybody I met there at Strasburg. I've been in, you know, some communication, but it's like, man, these guys great. It's like, how come I didn't know these guys before?
Well, COVID certainly helped push this over. That's good.
Yeah,
It did.
I gotta,
Well,
I got to say, the person I blame for me getting on here is Rick Bailey, Ray Bobel, and Heath, and then this guy here next to me, Sparky.
yeah, Heath and Sparky both.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like I said, Sparky definitely got my motor running.
Yeah.
The only thing I regret
No,
about the Strasburg
please
show,
don't.
when I heard about it, I thought it like, I knew it was a 3-day event, but I thought it was like one of these deals where like each day was the same activity. And then I realized later on, like, wow, I should have stayed for the whole 3 days because, you know, I was doing something different. I didn't know that because I'm only an hour and 20 minutes from Strasburg. So that's like nothing for me to go there. But it was like, I just really wish I had known at the time. I would have just stayed because I'm watching like YouTube videos of y'all hanging out, you know, late night. You know, I forgot exactly where you was at, but it's like, wow, man, I should have been there.
We were at the caboose part with a bonfire, man. You should have
Oh
stayed.
yeah, that's right. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's you right there.
I wished I was an hour and a half away.
no alcohol was consumed that night.
Not even an ounce. Was it?
That cannot be correct.
Yeah, I think
Hi, everyone.
pretty
Hey,
sure
I thought
DB Tech was the last one to leave, and I was like, dude, just leave your truck parked in the field, please.
Yeah, I think that's where I met you the first time. Ron was at Strasburg. You came up to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first meet and greet.
Well, I showed my
Oh.
face at Strasbourg. I was, I mean, I did show up at Strasbourg. My face did show up. Even though I got kidnapped and left in the back of a pickup truck, I was there. I think I was only sober one there.
I forget who stole you now.
Everybody blanked out.
I know you're
I
out.
think
but-
that was Rick. Rick had your sign.
No, he put me in the back. He left me in the back of the RJ's pickup truck, and I end up going over to Baltimore for a ride.
Yeah,
in
you
the
went
back
to
of
the what was that? The trolley museum for the day.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Nathan DeLay, how are you doing, my friend?
Good, Sparky. How are you?
Awesome. Can't be any better than this.
Yeah.
Can I ask James a question? What's his channel?
Sure.
What's your channel, James?
What's that?
What's your channel?
So I've done most of my stuff with Ken Patterson because he's here locally, and I showed up in his basement one time. I think originally I was I'd seen him with a video that he was doing some kind of brass repair with a resistance solder iron, and I wanted to see that up close in person, and realized he lived in St. Louis, and so I showed up thinking maybe at some point I could ask Ken to borrow his solder iron, but that hasn't actually happened yet, and so it's been kind of fun hanging out. Oh, hold on.
Mute. I believe he does have the YouTube channel. It is just James Regier though. He does. He's. I think he's got 3 or 4 videos on it. But yeah, going through Ken Patterson, he's on that quite a bit.
I do have a few videos on my own channel. I've just been sort of slow and lazy about uploading new content there, for sure. And that it seems like I do plenty of projects, and I'm doing plenty of stuff, but I realized too late that it would have been nice to have a camera along or something else, and that's what happens there.
That usually be my issue. I be doing stuff. I'm like, I should have been filming this. Or a lot of times when I'm at work, I'm thinking about all the stuff I'm gonna put together, and then when I get home, it's like, I don't feel like doing none of that. Then it winds up being weeks and weeks and weeks later. Because trust me, if I did a video for everything I said I was gonna do, I probably have like 200 videos by now. But I kind of get lazy at times, like, man, I don't feel like it. And then it just never gets done. Or then like last week, I was trying to film a train going across the grade crossing, using the grade crossing effect. And every time it got to the grade crossing, I was using the effect, something would go wrong. The engine would stop, or the effect wouldn't kick in, or it's like, come on. I must have did about 20 takes of that and never got it right. So I just quit on that whole idea.
Yeah, you got to post all 20 of those videos so we can all go, yeah, we've all had that happen.
Oh yeah.
I've also filmed plenty of trains while I'm running them, on layouts and stuff, and that's all fun. But then the step, editing them and actually uploading them, that's a whole nother bridge to cross.
Oh yeah. And then
Yeah.
uploading this was on.
Yeah, it does take some time to do that.
So Nathan,
And sometimes I cheat and do it with the cell phone. I figure it's quicker, but even with that, it takes a little time. Because sometimes you want to delete something or edit it. But when I go the whole route, it usually takes a while. So that's why when I'm done with my videos, it's usually 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm stressed out because I didn't want to be up that late, but that's how long it took to do it.
I want to get down to Nathan and find out what got him hooked into trains.
I think that's kind of a mystery, but kind of not. When I was like a little baby or something, I would use tissue boxes to line them up as trains, and then let's see, and then I got interested in the Win Thomas trains, and then let's just say time passed by with that, and my dad gave me all his small HO scale stuff, which is why I'm in HO scale, because of his collection with the same age as me or something like that. And then I expanded that collection. And then when I got on YouTube, it was like, I think honestly I got jealous because my sister had a YouTube channel about nothing with trains, but cooking stuff or something like that. But those videos are long gone. and I've been doing that since 2015.
What's your highlights of the community?
Mostly YouTube meet and greets, I would think. And
Now,
other
are
like,
you gonna host another one?
Maybe. I was thinking of going to that Trolley Museum of New York, but hard to say if I did a YouTube meet and greet at Northlands, but only one somebody showed up, which he's in the chat right now, David from DB Tech.
Oh, you are what, about 40 minutes from Reading, Pennsylvania?
Well,
I could check that up on my phone if that's okay.
Because I'm thinking Saturday night when we're all done that, we all go out for dinner and stuff like that. Then I can probably drive you home. Everybody can follow me, and we can hang out at your place.
all right.
That sounds like a plan.
Because we all want to see your
Yeah, I
layout.
just got the notice. I saw
Nice.
that.
Okay.
That sounds
All
like
right,
the boys in blue are going to be coming around there too.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
So basically, 3 hours 19 minutes is how far I live from Reading.
From Reading?
Yep.
That's only up the
Oh,
road.
we ain't going to your place.
Fair point.
I thought you
Well,
were a lot
you
closer than
in
that.
Greencastle, Nathan?
Wait, what?
You in Greencastle?
I'm not sure where that is.
Like towards Pittsburgh, out that way?
Oh no. I actually live in on the other side of Pennsylvania. I just go to Pittsburgh to like visit and with my family members and maybe DJ and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Where I stay is like probably Jeanette or something like that. I don't know if I remember that properly, but
I thought when I was talking to Jamie, we said we were going to actually pass your place pretty much to get to Minersville.
that's true.
Well, then you're not 3 hours away. Are you?
Oh, I thought you meant by Reading.
No. How far is it to drive to your place?
Oh, what by Minersville?
From Reading to your place in a car.
3 hours 19 minutes.
Oh man, I'm
Oh,
gonna have to
from
call
Reading.
you.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm gonna have to call you on the phone.
If he
Yeah,
said he
that
lives
can't
in,
be right, Nathan.
if he says he lives in Jeanette and he's in Reading, that's a long ways.
Is it?
Did you say you live in
I don't.
Jeanette?
I don't mean I don't live in Jeanette. I just meant Pittsburgh.
What?
Well, I actually live in Schuylkill County. That's I know it's kind of like hard to explain, but to be honest, that's all I know.
I'll call you later, or I'll send you a message, and I'll get your address from you. We'll
Oh,
find it.
gotcha.
So there's a couple of other clubs I'm looking at too to get us in there. So
Yeah.
fill up our evenings.
So, a question for you, Sparky, on has Lauren decided a date for September?
Oh, what was that? Okay, say that again.
The what do you call it? The pop-up thing in Canada has Lauren decided a date?
OVR's thing. Mini Prince
Yeah.
is here. I'm not sure if he's taking part of that. I haven't heard anything from OVR,
Okay.
but I think Chris has announced the date a couple times on his channel. So.
Well, yeah, I heard somebody announce dates, but they gave 3 different ones.
Oh well,
So-
then nobody knows.
I don't know who it was
I-
announcing, the dates, but it was 3 different dates.
Yeah, so the only thing I can tell you about, I could look up the dates, but it's going to take me a few minutes. I know the London Air Show is one weekend, and his event is always the following weekend. Because I go to the London Air Show all the time, so I can't make his event. So he's always made it the weekend after. So if you look up the London International Air Show, it'll tell you what weekend that is, and it's the following weekend.
All right.
Now, like I said, I could take the time and look up the dates and stuff, but it probably wouldn't be appropriate right now. So.
I'll look it up later since I know how to find it, basically. All right.
Yeah. Okay, now we got a quiet group up here. What the heck?
Well, I
Yes,
usually
please.
post my videos on Sunday, so I'll have a new one probably this Sunday. That did a lot of updates on my man cave this week. We got concrete poured and house painted and layout stuff. So you'll see that on Sunday.
I'm sorry, Ken. What's your name? I'm not sure of your name.
Rich,
Rich. I have friends that are still in Greenville, and I come visit them, and I like to come visit your layouts when I'm
Yeah.
down there.
not a problem. I'm headed back to Alaska on the 9th of April, and then I'll be back in November for all winter
Oh.
again. So
Well,
yeah,
I won't, it will be during the summer, so I guess I won't see it.
yeah. No, I'll be here all of next summer probably because I'll retire this year.
All right.
But yeah, I'd be glad to have anybody who wants to come visit. I've had a couple friends already show up, YouTubers. So
Yeah, I guess if I had the funnest time I had Wilmer and Dave and Robert from Flying Crow. They all came. They came to my house, but it was by accident. What happened was last year at Timonium. It was a hilarious story. Wilmer could tell it better, but Wilmer and Robert had got an Airbnb or something like that, and when they went to go check in the Airbnb, it wasn't there.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
So I had them all.
What do
So-
they find a mention to bring your own tent?
Yeah, so I had them all come to my house and stay. So that was it was a fun time with those guys. So
Just got to say hi to Mini Prince in the chat, and I posted the link. If you want to come in and tell stories, because I'd love to know your history too, Bernard.
Yeah, it's always nice to.
Read my basement as fast as I said it.
Yeah, I think it's always nice.
I just
think
want
it's
to
always-
say the date, Nathan. Hold on for it's the OVR event should be September 21st.
okay.
So, Artie, I don't. My only regret, hey, how's it going, Bernard? Sorry, I'll get back to you, Artie.
Oh, go for it, Ron.
Well, I was going to say, Artie, you kind of caught me off guard when because I know you had texted me like a week before you came, and you said, you asked me if I was going to Amherst, and I said, yeah, and you said, well, I'll be there too. It's like, wow, I was like, that really made me want to come to Amherst, but at the same token, I wish I had known ahead of time because I could have took like planned some vacation time that we could have hung out or just did some traveling around. But you had kind of caught me off guard, so I was too late as far as trying to do any, getting together with you as far, beyond Amherst. But next time we will, hook up and we're gonna hang out,
Yeah, that will be another time. It'll probably be next year is when I'm going to spend a bit of considerable time in the US. I may do a couple more trips this year, but it will be under strict silence, under radar sort of thing. I'm just going to go over there, no posting on the internet or whatnot. I'm over there, so I do have intentions of coming over in October, and I do also have intentions to go back to Amherst next year. But it's going to be very, very hush hush, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
But yeah, I am looking to come back over.
Hey, Artie.
Don't know.
Hey, Artie, are you there?
I'm here.
How far are you from Brisbane?
Far enough.
Okay.
Why is that, Bernard?
There is a very talented Australian painter named Ian Fanges, Fainges. I don't know if you know him.
Never heard of him. Yeah, go on.
He's in the Queensland area. Anyway, I sent him a couple of your figures and he's painted you up beautifully.
Oh, has he really? You'll have to send him my channel and my Facebook details to him so he can get in contact with me.
I'll send you some of the pictures, and he's posted them on the Mini Prince Modelers Facebook group.
Oh, he has? Oh, good.
Yeah, and I sent him, he paints an O scale, so I sent him an O scale U, because I figured, Australian, everyone knows each other, right? I figured you'd probably be best buds. Anyway,
It's such a
We
small
probably,
place,
we
right?
probably crossed, we probably crossed paths at some of the train shows.
anyway, you're
Uh,
gonna laugh when you see how we painted you. You look amazing.
Oh God,
That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
bad
Big
stories
paint
moving
on
up
it.
there.
I
They put a
got, I
suit
got,
on or what?
Paint on.
I got to get an order for some more from you, Bernard. I need to get some O-scale ones off you as well.
You look really great the way he painted you up. It's pretty
But
awesome.
I tell you what, did you send that stuff by mail or did you send it by courier?
Mail, always mail.
Well, whoever delivered it over here needs to get his ass kicked. It was
Yeah,
windy
well,
day.
it's
It
always
threw
a
it on
slow
the
boat.
doorstep here, and I've got to notice they're not safe drop, but I mean, it was starting to blow. It was getting windy, and the pack's getting blown around my yard. So it's lucky I got it. Lucky I saw the pack, otherwise I would have lost it.
Howdy, everybody.
Those would be pretty heavy models, you would think, Artie. So I don't know how they would blow around.
Bernard, I always want.
Bam, boom, boom. Good one down there.
Why are you not on the camera, Sparky? What are you doing?
He's doing a naughty.
There you go.
He was doing a naughty.
Are you sure we wanted to see what he was doing?
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to remind everybody that I like Conrail. That's all.
And
Bernard,
James, why are
has
you all
physical lights
green?
going, so-
Why- I wanna know
okay,
why-
so we got Bernard on here.
There's a lot of echoing.
We're all trying to talk at once. So I got to ask Bernard though, what got you hooked onto trains and model railroading?
My son. I had a layout when I was 8 years old for 5 minutes. My dad built it, and I don't think we ever got past, I think we had a creative disagreement. I think he probably wanted to go prototypical, and I probably wanted to smash trains. So that lasted 5 minutes.
Wow.
And then I always liked the idea of having a model railroad. I actually, believe it or not, started in dollhouse miniatures. I built with my wife. I built a miniature dollhouse because I'd always been sort of crafty and hands-on and a maker type. And my second son Max started to get seriously into Thomas the Train.
Cool.
And so Thomas was the gateway drug, and so he got Thomas obsessed. And I started to build these fantastic wooden Thomas creations on the floor with him. And that actually reminded me how much I really wanted a layout. So it's all Thomas. Thomas was the gateway drug that got me back into, model railroading, and really into model railroading for the first time at quite a late age, in my 40s.
There
I
goes
want
Thomas
to answer
causing
there.
a mischief, confusion, and delay again.
Gosh darn that Sir Topham hat. He's a troublemaker. Ooh, look at all those arties.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I blame the island of Sodor.
So
Yeah, I got a lot to
Bernard,
paint up myself, Artie.
So Bernard, if you don't mind me asking, how'd you start mini prints? You don't tell me the complicated stuff, just the simple stuff of beginning to end or something like that.
Mini print started because I needed a little tiny model railroad HO scale beaver for my own layout. So I modeled Quebec Gatineau, which is a Genesee and Wyoming short line. And I've got a layout in my basement that I was building, sort of one of those 30 by 10 foot basement empires. And it started because I was trying to create a scene, and then it just kind of got out of control from there.
So I guess if I understand this right, you probably thought, we're doing this well, I should get into business with this or something like that.
No, it was a total accident. It was like I put it on Facebook, and the next thing I know, someone wanted it, and then someone else wanted it, and I started printing them and selling them. And it was also right in the middle. The whole thing started, actually, it's my 4th birthday this weekend.
Wow.
So the whole thing started April 1st, 2020, which, if you remember back to then, was not a really good time of the year. not a good date. So
Wait.
I started this right when everything went into lockdown, and I was out of work.
Or
I was
showstopper
completely out of
times.
work. So it kind of became necessity. It's like it was, you know, that old sort of expression, when a door closes, a window opens, or when, you know, the
Or
window opens,
opportunity
you
or
jump
something.
out the third floor balcony.
I think Boeing has the copyright on that now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, James, why are you green?
I think it might be the back porch or
Because
something.
it's a little better than being red.
But it's Easter. It's not St. Patrick's Day.
Does someone have YouTube on?
That echoes back.
Bernard, before I forget again, can you 3D scan small bits like this?
No.
Okay, how would I get a copy of that?
Yeah, somebody's watching YouTube while they're online.
Yeah, maybe we should. I know I don't, but
Not
I
me.
think we should take a screen just in case.
I'm gonna have to
It's just
blame James.
I like to do some more of these, but the guy that did it, he's got himself in a lot of trouble.
Oh no!
Yeah, and I'd like to get some more of these done. Well, I've just got to find someone that's going to be able to do it for us. It's a cab over Kenworth that we've got here in Australia. I've noticed there's a bit of a flaw in the casting. I just want to get some more of these done.
Yeah,
That's Artie's far reach out for the community. He wants the community somebody to print him off a bunch of big rigs. So
you'd have to get the files from him.
I am not going to visit him. He's got he gets locked up every night.
all right, so let's get this back on track, Artie. Bernard, on a personal level, not your business.
Yes.
What's this community to you? Like, do you have a highlight for this community? What do you think?
Laughs and giggles, friendship,
Cool.
silliness, and fun. Actually, it's interesting. It's the community is whatever you want it to be. So when I was starting out, the community was technical advice, like why do I have a short circuit? So my first sort of interaction with the community was like, why does my reversing loop not work? And so it was very much sort of how to technical support. Then it became very much friendship and sort of, you know, it's less about sort of, you know, how to and more about a diversion. And it's funny, everybody this month seems to be talking about burnout. I was just watching, I don't know, there seems to be like, yeah, it's definitely tumbleweeds too, for sure. But everybody this month seems to be talking about model railroad burnout. And the one thing that sort of gets me over the whole burnout thing is friendship. Like, I mean, not to single anyone out, but I'm going down to St. Louis this year, and I'm going down partially because it's a business opportunity, but that's not the reason. I mean, I cannot wait to hang out with James and, you know, all of the St. Louis gang, because I had so much darn fun last year. Like it morphs, and now it's very much about sort of hanging out with Joshua and James and Mike and going rail fanning. You know, it changes depending on where you are in the journey.
And you're right about that, Bernard, because I always had this tradition for years. I always took vacation on my birthday week, which hadn't have been yesterday. Actually, was my birthday, but I always took March and September. They was always my favorite weeks. But then when I got in this community, Sparky, you know, he was doing the meet and greet, so I jumped to May, and then I usually go to Timonium, so that's October. So now everything jumped to May and October, and anything in between, I just jump on board if I have the time to do it. But that's what the community done for me, as far as, you know, wanting to be involved, and it's how much I take in and how much I really enjoy it to change up my own traditions.
It makes it fun. I mean, it can be a very solitary hobby. I mean, there are a lot of people that just sort of hang out in their basements or their sheds or their outbuildings or, inside their helixes in the case of Sparky.
You're not coming out and coming to my outbuilding. There's no way in the world there, Bernard. We won't fit.
It makes it way more fun.
Yeah,
it does. And I look forward to this. I mean, unfortunately, I can't go to every meet and greet or every train show, but the ones I make it to is like, wow, I mean, it's the best day of my life, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the people that you meet, it's like, wow, they're good as they are in person. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Colorado meet and greet.
When I first started the YouTube thing, I certainly did not think it would ever lead to friendships across the board. I know my first video, I didn't even think anybody could see it. I posted it so I could remember how I did something. And then I had a couple comments on it, and it's kind of bloomed into this. And you guys talk about the YouTube meet and greets and stuff like that. I look so forward to doing those every May just to get the community together and everybody together, because like Ron says, now he does his holidays based on those 2 times a year for those 2 events. And it's just amazing. Like, I don't have to be the one that puts them on. I do. Yeah. That's great. Other people can add to the activities and everything else, but I just love getting everybody together. Colorado was such an awesome time.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
And every year is the same thing, like Steamtown, Strasbourg, just amazing people that show up in the events that happen.
Yeah.
Well, it's also great.
I tell my coworkers, I'll be talking about, what we do. And I said, we got people that comes from all around the world and country that gets together. I said, that's how deep it is. Like I was telling about Artie. I said, when we went to Amherst, we had people from Australia, the UK, Canada. It's like, that's how deep it is. Like people just go to great lengths to get together. I'm sure if there's people on the moon, they would come also. We get some Martians to show up next year.
I think there's other communities as well, not just this community, but like Thomas communities, and the list goes on YouTube. But I think about anything you can think of, and that's interesting. Then you can merge them together or whatever. But yeah.
And just what Container Man said there is, it's kind of how the YouTube meet and greets kind of started. It was me going down to meet with Vinny first. And then I was going down to see Vinny. And Vinny would put it out there to a few other people that, hey, Sparky's coming down to see me. And it ended up 5-6 people at once would all be there. And it'd be like, I might as well just throw this out. Like, Pennsylvania's close to me. There's lots of train stuff to do. I'm just going to throw it out there to see who wants to come. Because at Vinny's, everybody's like, Sparky's coming? Well, I'm going to be there to meet him then. So now I'm not just saying it's me. Like I said, all you guys show up too. And it's great when you guys post videos that say you're coming to the meet and greets, because there's people out there that want to meet you, not me. So, Bernard, everybody wants to meet Bernard. So
you're going to have to do the meet and greet for our Steam Festival up here in 2026.
You never know.
Well, the airfares are coming down. I mean, with Fiji Air at the moment, XLA to Sydney just with a backpack on, $750, $780 return from LA. And that's pretty cheap. So whatever it costs you guys to get over there to LA, but from LA to Sydney for $780, that's a steal. That's a bargain.
Yeah, no doubt. I just have to get to LA first.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm working on that already. I just got to get over being on a plane that long. That's the hard part for me.
Well, good thing about Fiji, you can get out and stretch your legs. In Fiji, you can get out there and stretch your legs. That's a good thing. But yeah, it's a good trip. It's a good trip. You get used to it.
Bernard, actually, DJ is selling some mini prints of him, and I asked Basically, he's gonna give me one when I'm gonna go to Pittsburgh this week. Thought that'd be interesting.
Yeah, we did those when he came up to Toronto.
Well,
I
not to
guess
let the cat out the bag, but DJ just announced the engagement the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's getting married, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are, Steve. And I tell you what, flying in those new Airbus 350s, I tell you what, they're so quiet inside. You can actually fall asleep, and not as noisy as what they used to be once upon a time. They are pretty quiet and smooth. Yeah.
Yeah, when I remember before I had a YouTube channel, I just randomly go on YouTube and just search train videos, and then I thought like I want a piece of the action, and then I didn't realize what I do. Then when I was 15 years old, it's like, oh, go right, opportunity, and well, I guess you know the rest.
I got into this by looking at using mini panels and BD20s and whatnot, and I came across Rick Bailey's tutorial on the mini panels, or the NCE mini panels, and it all started from there. What got me with what he was doing was the soldering of the tortoise switches in a really awkward position. And now, if those who have met Rick Bailey, he's a very, very tall person. And for him to get into the place where he had to solder the wire was really, really inconvenient. And you guys would probably have to see one of the original videos I put up. And it's how he turned the tortoise motor into a plug and play using a simple plug system that I got from the local electronics shop, where I can make my own little harnesses and make my own little standard. Now, since then, I've just been using that practice, and yeah, it's time consuming doing it, but at the end of the day, it's quick and easy.
Yeah,
And that's what got me into it.
Yeah, I guess like everyone's not like this, but I think some people think like it has to be this way, a certain way, or it doesn't make any sense. Well, it doesn't have to. It just can be whatever people want it to be.
Yeah, well, it was just my idea. That was my idea on how to make it easy. Like everybody's got their methods, and the good thing about it is everybody has the opportunity to share their method. Someone's going to say, "Well, I like that idea. I'm going to do that myself," and it's not trying to outdo anyone. It's just sharing people's ideas and knowledge and the things that we come up with.
So when it comes to
and like
burnout,
you said, that's what I get out of it, because I learned a lot from everybody, and everybody has their own unique talent, and when you start looking at each one of those things, putting it together, you learn a lot from them. You learn a lot, and I learned a lot over the last few years. As far as what to put into the layout and ideas to work with, because I've been working on my own ideas, but sometimes you always just need to step outside of the box too and come up with ideas.
Mini Prince, was that your
the
birthday?
3D printing.
I just wanted to ask Mini Prince if that was his entry for the birthday contest.
What's that?
Your birthday?
Link you posted.
Yeah.
That's
So
your
I took a page out of your book. You know how you like to give stuff away, Sparky?
Yeah.
I figured that I would sort of take that idea, your Christmas idea, and for our 4th birthday, this April 1st technically is the 4th, and I go live on the Wednesday afterwards. So I go live on Wednesday the 3rd at 7. So I'm doing a giveaway, and ITLA donated one of their beautiful wood kits.
Oh, wow.
Huge, yeah, like a huge kit, like a $195 US kit. And I had a bunch of home shop cars. So I thought I'd just put together a little sort of, I guess, sweepstakes, giveaway, whatever, with some stuff I had lying around. and we'll do the drawing on Wednesday. And I'm also giving away a Mini Prints of the Month Club subscription, so that's a year of mini prints. So there are four prizes. Steve 87th, you do not need to be present to win. It'll be a random name, and whoever wins, and will be informed whether they are online or not.
And you got something close to Peabody coming up?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back down to George Celios's layout.
Oh, wow.
Wait, do you mean Rocky and Bullwinkle show or something totally different?
What's that?
Do you mean Rocky and Bullwinkle?
I don't have Rocky and Bullwinkle, although I do have a beaver and a moose, so you could make your own Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Something different there, Nathan.
Wait, what? Sorry?
Something different.
Oh, something different. I misunderstood.
So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go check out the layout, and he's having an open house again on April 20th. And so I convinced my cousins in Boston, so I convinced Holly to go down with me. So we're doing we're leaving the kids at home alone. So that'll be an interesting adventure. Hopefully we will come back to a house. Our 18, soon to be 19-year-old thought that it might be fun to have a party while we're gone. And we told him that we will have many, many cameras on him at all times. And that we have no problem calling the cops if we see more than two friends over. So, we're a little bit nervous to leave. The 16-year-old is fine. Max, the one who got me addicted onto Thomas, is fine. I trust him. But Ben, the oldest one, he's in his party years. So God help us. But yeah, Holly and I are going to hop in the car. We're going to go down to Boston. She's going to visit my first cousin, and I'm going to hang out. I've always wanted to meet some of the guys who I didn't meet who liked the layout. So there's a guy named oh God, I just blanked. Dave Cruzwick. I don't know if anyone knows Dave.
Yeah, he was on your last live stream, was he not?
Yeah. He runs the Franklin and South Manchester Facebook group. And he's really good friends with George Celios. He's the one who sort of connected me with him. And I'd love to meet him. And it was just an opportunity to, like, the first time you see that layout, like, I didn't really even see it. It was so overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been dreaming a lot about that. And I want to just go back and, like, sit in one place for, like, 5 minutes and just try and absorb it.
Every camera angle, you could sit there for an hour and just move the camera half an inch and it would be a completely different scene.
Well, I was talking to guys, they're guys like who have been there. Like there's some people that do an annual pilgrimage to George's layout, the way people do an annual pilgrimage to your meet and greets. And there are people who have been there 6 years in a row and they still haven't, like, they still don't feel like they've seen the layout.
It'll be interesting to see where he puts little mini figures of himself on there now.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. And we might hide a few.
Yeah.
Oh, Bernard.
Hey, Bernard, on your
Yes.
channel, you put that link about the birthday thing.
Yes.
When it goes to your channel, what are we supposed to do?
If you go to that page, the miniprints.com/birthday, you just enter your email address.
Oh, I clicked on the link. It just went to your channel.
My channel.
Oh,
It should go to a page, I think.
Huh.
Does it not?
Well, maybe I clicked on the wrong link, but it went to your channel.
Channel like YouTube channel or channel like
YouTube
that's-
channel.
It should have a little banner on there that says enter your email to enter the contest.
Here, I'll write it again. It's
Yeah, go for it.
miniprints.com/birthday, and it should be like enter your email to. Oh, you probably clicked on the link at the bottom of the page. Don't click on the link on the bottom of the page. Click on the here, let me go to it. I don't know what it says. It says use your email. Log in to enter this giveaway, use your email. So the little green button underneath the sign. Underneath the prize.
I know ITLA kits, they're nice, they're expensive, but
They are.
Every one of his kits, you can do like 5 different models with it.
Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I have
Pretty
to
sure.
admit-
I think Chris Go Via or Go Home's going to have him on next time he goes live, so that'll be definitely one to tune in.
Oh, cool. That looks slick.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
that's nice, Lord.
How big is
I've
that?
never
wood
built-
circle?
I've never built a wood kit before, so I did all the 3D prints for Nick, and it was a trade for the kit, and I've never actually built. Like this is ambitious for me. I mean, I might have built a little wooden structure before, but this is a whole different kit and caboodle. So this is their Tri-State Fabricators kit, and it is unbelievable. Like this is, I'm almost scared. It's one of those things where I'm almost scared to open the box. Like it's too nice. I don't know whether I want to open it.
Oh, Bernard, I think you should put a Mini Prince logo on that truck thing. I think you did. That's like rail or something.
The which?
Oh no, like those trucks that go on the rails. Like
Oh, the high rail. Yeah. I should do a water slide decal. Yeah. So
yeah. My
so
dad does
I'm kinda-
decals.
I'm scared to open it, but at some point I might have to jump in, and I'm scared
Yeah.
to screw it up, but it's pretty neat.
Yeah, my dad is doing decals for Amtrak.
Oh, right on.
There is I just found this really cool toner called Ghost White Toner. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but you basically take, if you have a laser printer, which I'm sure most people do, if you take the black cartridge out of your laser toner, like assuming that you have a laser toner that has, multiple different cartridges like cyan, magenta, yellow, black, you can swap out the black toner cartridge in your laser printer with a white toner cartridge. It's called Ghost White Toner. And then you can print like white decals on the water slide decal paper. And I've been looking at it. It's fabulously expensive. Like I think the toner cartridge is like $275 US, which makes it about $1,000 Canadian. But
I'll
it's
just come to your
really-
place to do it then.
What's that?
I'll just come to your place to do it then.
Well,
Wait,
yeah.
has the exchange rate gotten that bad?
What's that?
Has the exchange rate gotten that bad?
It's at least 30%, maybe more.
Yeah.
30.
I wonder if we haven't asked him anything, or I don't know if I'm the expert of that, but
It would be very cool to create, like, white is the holy grail of water slide decals. So it would be very, very cool to be able to create, your own water slide decals. But then I realized, like, PDC.ca, who's who I go to, Bill Berlinger, he charges like, I don't know, $25 a sheet. So you kind of figure that, if you take the, I don't know, realistically $350 for a toner cartridge, divide by $25, you could probably get a lot of stuff done by a professional.
it looks like you're into space, Bernard, because that space thing, spaceship behind you. Yep.
Yeah, that's that was my Father's Day present many years ago from Max, the Thomas guy, and he built it.
Cool.
Yeah, here.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, he bought it for me for Father's Day, and then he
Oh,
built
it's
it.
Lego.
And then he
Oh, wow.
built it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome kit.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey dad, I'm gonna like get you this like Saturn rocket, and then he built it, and he built the whole thing in one afternoon.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
I got one for the girls for Christmas.
The same one, this guy. Yeah.
That's
It's an
pretty
amazing
smart.
kit.
169
That's
pieces.
That's a pretty smart play there, James. You bought it for the girls. If they don't want it, they give it to you, right?
Yeah.
That's a very smart play. That. Well done, buddy. Well done.
Bernard, I bet you could make yourself out of Lego by mini prints or something like that because of the 3D printing.
Well, the funny thing is, I have it somewhere, but the manual for that thing, it's like an inch thick.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. And he built it in one afternoon. The kid is amazing. Like he was just like,
It sounds
Yeah.
like you know what he's doing.
yeah, there it is. Yeah. How
That
big
is
that
Like
one?
Marty says.
Yeah, it's about the heaviest, thickest Lego book I've ever seen. How many pages is that, James?
It's 196 pages.
Holy cow!
Wow.
It's
It's
the
amazing.
biggest kit he's ever built.
It's been a good long time since Model Railroader's been that thick.
It's
Yeah.
amazing that there's
Yeah, you're right.
The kit's worth $5. The instruction book is $200.
Yeah. Do you know
I
people
think every
actually
issue is about 10 pages short.
people actually sell Lego instruction books online?
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a resale market on the books.
Well, I follow a couple Lego
My
channels.
dad, is one of his early retirement projects, went back and he assembled every Lego kit we ever had and made sure that he had all the parts to do each one, and looked up all the spare, all the parts online, and the assembly instructions and everything else. It was quite the project.
If you took all the Lego my kid has and dumped it on the floor, which is usually where his Lego is,
It would be painful.
in a room that's probably, I don't know, 10 feet by 10 feet, and you spread all the Lego out on the floor, which I could take you there and show you right now, it's probably about 4 or 5 inches deep. It's like one of those IKEA ball pits of Lego. You have to sort of like when you wade into his room, it's just.
In other words, you want to make sure you're wearing shoes and that you shuffle.
Yeah.
Tim, that are those frame stuff behind you? That VHS or DVDs?
There are some. There's one right here.
Oh, cool.
But the only other one that's trains is where is it? I don't think it's here.
Okay, folks, I'm going to get going. I want to get some work done in here because time's ticking.
Artie,
Sparky,
I was just thinking, I was going 2 hours here. So what I was going to say is what I'd like from everybody, and we'll start with you then, is just give us a story, your best train story or your best community story, and then hit the X button and get out.
Love you too, Sparky. Okay.
There's another one.
Okay, where?
I have that one too.
Okay. I think the best part is when we used to do charity work with the layouts, going out to raise money for kids' hospitals and local charities. That was my best part about the modelling. The train rides, well, I used to have a lot of fun with the old passenger trains here, where I used to I used to be naughty, let's put it this way, but I had a lot of fun, and those were the days when you could have fun and not get arrested in the train. Of course, you can't do that anymore. But anyway, I have actually. There's too many stories to tell, but yeah. Thank you, Sparky, and thank you, everybody. We'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow night during my show. So take care, everybody.
Take it easy, Artie.
Joining in, Artie. All right, K&R Customs. You've been sitting pretty quiet, but you've been here. I need your last story.
Well,
community or train. So
I bought a big boy steam engine from my best friend in Alaska, and that was really about my second O-scale engine train. And I took it to a Greek restaurant bar on a Sunday afternoon, a friend of mine, and we set it up on this 30-foot long bar. And I took a picture of the train running up and down, and I sent that to my boss, and I said, "Hey, this is pretty cool, isn't it?" I said, "I got a whole trailer full of trains, but nowhere to run them." So he said, "Well, what kind of room do you need?" I said, "The bigger the better." So he gave me a 15 by 24 room up in our north hangar in Alaska. So that's where I built my first O-scale layout. Wow. Anyway, good seeing you guys. I'll put my email in my next video Sunday. So if you guys want to get in touch with me, I'll give you contact information, and you can come visit the layout anytime.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks for joining in, bud.
Yep.
Well, Nathan, you got a story for us?
I think right. Honestly, I think the whole good thing about YouTube is having. I think of it as a big adventure, like from beginning to who knows what end it'll be. But yeah, like right. I think the exciting part is once you start. When I started my YouTube channel, then like all these oh cool, these other people can connect and whatnot, and then when Steam Town happened, the first YouTube meet I've ever been at, DJU and uh felt like wow, that's really amazing, and then that's felt that way ever since.
It's really cool meeting everybody that you watch their videos and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't put their face on the camera. So they show up
Yeah.
at these events, train shows, or meet and greets and stuff like that. And you get to meet them personally. It's really cool to
Yeah.
actually go that far. And
Yeah, one
kind of
time
close
when I
in
was
friendship, right?
yeah, one time when I was at work, I was just doing my job, like being at a grocery store, and someone comes to me and says, "Hey, are you Nathan DeLay?" I say yes. It goes, "Oh my gosh, I know you from YouTube." And I guess the last thing to say is like a second time I was on the Ready Northern big steam engine train that. Well, anyways, somebody his mom came and said, "Hey, are you Nathan DeLay?" He goes, "Yes, my son's a big fan of you, and like, can you take a picture with them?" I go, "Yeah, I think for my fans." So that worked out.
Really cool story, bud.
Yeah. Oh,
Makes you feel pretty good, doesn't it?
yeah.
Superstore.
Well, thanks for joining, Nathan.
Oh,
Have
I
a
guess
good
I
night.
gotta go.
I'm sure I'll see you again. So
Yeah, maybe. I may, but yeah. Oh, see ya.
all right. So who wants to go next?
I'll go. I guess there's many stories, but I guess one of the funnest times I had was last summer coming up to Canada and had never met Track Mike before. He invited me into his home, and I got to stay with him. And coming over to OVR and spending too much money, but also got with Sparky at his shed there and seeing that 3-story layout he's building, huge. That was a great time. So I really enjoyed it. So trying to get that issue when you guys do it all over again. So
Just kind of one thing to highlight on that is that's community based. If we didn't have this community, you wouldn't know about it.
we'll know about it. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't get to actually see these layouts in person and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's
And,
the thing. Everybody in the chat, like reach out to people that you think are in your area or whatever. It's like you've seen with the KR Customs. 3 people in the chat are like, "Hey, I want to like check out your layout."
Yeah.
It's a closer knit community than you think. So
Yeah. Yep. And just the friendships you make, people inviting you into their home to stay for 2 or 3 days and you never even met them before, that's what Trackside Mike did, so that was really nice of him.
really cool, Anthony. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to head out.
Hey, Nancy.
I'll see
Good
you
to
on
see
the
you.
21st up here, I guess.
Yep. Well, the 21st. Well, yeah, I'll see you on the 17th.
Well, you will. But I
Yeah.
was trying to throw the plug for OVR. So
OVR. Oh, okay.
all right,
right.
bud. Thanks a
Good
lot.
night.
All right, James, throw it out there, bud.
Well, yeah. So it's just been fantastic getting to know the community a little bit more. I mean, I didn't talk much about it before, but I definitely had watched Al Mayo's videos, on YouTube. He got me into soldering together those LEDs for locomotives. I blame Al for sending me down that rabbit hole for sure. But it's been a whole lot of fun meeting and getting to know people at the different train shows, at the YouTube meet and greet last year, and it's amazing how talking to people even at local train shows back in Kansas. I happened to go one, and they're like, "Oh, I saw you on YouTube," or something like that. It's a pretty awesome experience being able to meet folks. And wearing the T-shirt from last year's meet and greet, with Big Boy on it. and all that. Went to the right. Sparky's wearing it right there. Went to the local grocery store, and the bagger guy said, "Hey, is that the big boy on your shirt?" I was like, "Yeah." And then we had a conversation. I'd never talked to him really before, and that was pretty neat.
Tell him you got to sit in the cab.
Oh yeah, that was that was a pretty sweet experience. Yeah, that was a real highlight, seeing the whole steam shop there.
Yeah, it was for sure. Well, James, thanks for joining. And like I said, I'll get in touch with you for the whole trip and all that stuff. I got to get in touch with Dr. Minnie there too and get it
All
all
right.
set. So, but like I said,
All right.
75%.
Well, good seeing you guys. Take
All right,
care.
thanks. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
All right, a fight between Ron and Tim.
I guess it'd be me, I guess. Well, I mean, I got a lot of train stories, but the one on the top of my tongue, thinking about the RDCs, I know you said you was excited to ride on one. So I remember a story when I was about maybe 9, 10 years old. I used to take the train home from school. So SEPTA had these, they call them silver liners. So I was used to seeing them every day. So this one day I was looking in the distance, I seen this flashing yellow light. I'm like, what in the world is this? And as it got closer, I looked, I said, that's RDC. And I just got so excited. I'm jumping up and down. I'm like, wow, I'm actually going to get on RDC. And at the time, I didn't know, because I live here in Philadelphia, so I didn't know that SEPTA had RDCs. And the train pulled in the station, it stopped, and a guy opened the door, and I got on. And the whole time, I'm jumping up and down. I'm so excited. And like, wow, I'm actually on RDC. So the funny thing, I actually caught it probably maybe 4 times afterwards. And when they take off, they have like this really slow acceleration. So I think after the first time when I really caught on to how slow it was, so when I get off, I was staying right at the very front where the engineer is, and I wait for him to start. And I will run as fast as I can to the end of the platform and see if I could beat him. And normally I actually beat him to the end of the platform before he caught up to me and, passed me. But I always remember that story because I know the guy was like this tickle was watching me run down a platform trying to outrun this RDC.
Probably thought you were a nut.
So that was one of my favorite stories, as far as the RDCs. But you really enjoyed Sparky, the ride. And as far as the community, like I said, I really love the community. I'm learning a lot and, getting to meet everybody and talking to and, seeing, because everybody has a story and, and something interesting to talk about. And, I've been finding out like some of us are really like closer than we think, because I didn't even know DB Tech, he like basically lives a couple miles from my house. So
and then you'd have RJ close to you then too. So
yeah, Rick, he's near me. So Ray, he's a little ways down the road, but it's great, and I really enjoy the community. And I kind of leave it at that. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the future. And keep in touch and staying visible as much as possible.
Well, if Dr. Minnie brings his scanning equipment, did you want to get scanned?
Yeah, I definitely do. I know I had actually put in and when the meet and greet in Gurley, but unfortunately I didn't make that one. And then I think I signed up in Timonium, but you didn't show up for that one. So I'll catch up with you sooner or later.
All right. Thanks for joining tonight. It's always good to talk, and it's always good seeing you whenever I go to the shows and stuff too. So
likewise.
Very cool.
Y'all have a good night and see you next time.
All right. Hey, Tim. Wake up.
I'm wide awake.
How was work?
Other than the boyfriend of the girl who's been harassing me for years was acting really creepy, it was fine.
So, big story about trains or the community.
I've been sitting here thinking about which one would be the best one to tell, because there are some stories that I can't really tell because the people are still working for the railroad. But this one I can. And this one was back. There used to be a guy who lived around here. We haven't seen him in years. He used to. This was back in the days when phones did not record video. You recorded train videos on a camcorder. And he had a big camcorder that recorded on VHS tapes. And we used to go out rail fanning with him. We used to catch occasionally Amtrak going through with a couple F40 PHs going down to Hornell. And at that time, there was a lot of coal trains still on the line. There was the power plant just north of Ithaca. There was a power plant still in Down, New Hampshire that the trains were coming through here. And Kodak was still taking coal. Well, the Kodak trains would come down. They would come through here, go down south to Swain, which is about 20 miles railroad east, direction more south, run around the train, they'd come back up, and then the Rochester and Southern crew would be waiting at the depot downtown, waiting for them. The NS crew would get off, the RNS crew would get on, and they would take the train up to Rochester. Then they would sometimes return the power back down. We're hanging out with Rick, and a coal train comes through. We decide to chase it. We knew it was going to Kodak because it was time. Because with the crew, the Rochester and Southern crew was standing at the depot waiting for it. And he goes on through, and it's like, okay, well, let's chase it. He's only going down this train. We'll chase it down there. Well, the dispatcher for those trains, because there was nothing coming, they would line the switch for the siding at both ends, and they would have a yellow at the diverging approach at the west end, and they would have an approach at the other end because the train could just go on, unhook, go through the signal, then they would give them the signal, go back the other way, and then they would run around the train and bring it back. And we're going down, and we get down to Ross's Crossing, which is the west end of the siding. He goes on the siding, go down halfway through. He's still going at 30 miles an hour. He's not stopping. What's going on? The other end, he goes off the end of the siding, right through the approach, doesn't disconnect from his train, keeps on going. It's like, okay, well, what's going on? He's going to Kodak. Why is he going down farther? So we continue following. We're going through Canisterager, Arkport, and dispatcher comes on the air and asks him, have you separated from your train yet? No, I didn't know I was supposed to. Dispatcher comes back and says, there's a crew, a Rochester and Southern crew, waiting in Silver Springs for that train. You were supposed to go on the siding, disconnect from your train, go off the end of the siding, and then run around your train and take it back to Silver Springs. They've been waiting there for an hour now. And dispatcher says, I'll get back to you in a few minutes. So we're riding in the vehicle next to the train, laughing at this engineer, because when you're on a train, you have orders. You know where you're supposed to go. You have an endpoint on your paperwork that says where you're supposed to go. You shouldn't have gone through like that. And then the dispatcher comes on. And this dispatcher had the tone of a father talking to a young child. We're gonna try this again. You are going to go on the siding in Cass, which is the control point at the west end of the siding in Hornell. You are going to go on the siding at Cass. You are going to stop your train at the other end. You will disconnect your power, run off onto the main. Tell us you're clear of the signal. We will give you your signal to go back in a westerly direction. You will then run around your train to the other end of the siding. Stop. We will throw the switch and you will go back against the other end of your train, and you will then pull off the siding and go back to Silver Springs, open up the east end of the dead track, go on the east end of the dead track, stop at the depot and turn your train. Complete, like, step-by-step instructions of exactly what to do.
So the
Train
short
does
part
it.
of that story was, did the guy even have a job after he was done?
I don't know.
Sounded more like he needs to be a model railroader than anything else.
And we get back to Silver Springs. We pull into the parking lot next to the depot. He comes up with his a pair of UP, I think, or a pair of UP SD70Ms. And we walk up to him and he's getting off the train. We're gonna try this again. He burst out laughing. and he said, if I knew you were gonna follow us all that way, I would have given you a ride.
Yeah, that would have been cool too, though. So,
Oh, we got rides on trains before.
well,
And
that sounds like a pretty good memory to have,
yeah,
and a good thing to get you caught up on trains. So, all right, we're gonna switch over to Bernard. Thanks for joining us tonight, Tim. I know you're
yep.
a little quiet. A lot of people on the panel tonight talking, so I
Mhm.
appreciate it and hope to get you up again another time.
Mm-hmm.
And never know, I got to get down and visit you again at some point. So,
Well,
Dr. Minnie.
I'm sure you'll find some way to sometime to get down here.
Well, I pretty much got to pass your place. Well, roundabout way, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
I think
I'm
when
sure
you
I will.
I think when you're passing my place, I'm going to be in Batavia, because isn't the Timonium show the same weekend as the Batavia train show?
Oh, I'm not going to the Timonium show this time.
Mm.
I got to start saving my pennies too. I got the St. Louis show that, like I said, talking to James there, so probably end up going to that one with Dr. Minnie. So, well, thanks for joining, Bud. Now
Yeah.
getting over to Dr. Minnie. He's talking about a birthday.
Yeah.
That must mean a birthday party.
Partay. I'm turning 4.
With
I'm
all
a
that gray hair,
toddler.
and you're only 4.
I'm a toddler.
Oh. Does it feel like it's been 4 years?
No, it feels like it's been 20.
Really?
I think it does feel longer than 4. But it's kind of amazing. It's been 4 years, and it I don't know. I think the pandemic has just screwed up everyone's sense of time. Like, I think back in like 5 years ago wasn't that long ago, but it seems like decades ago. You know, it just life pre mini prints and post mini prints seem like two different worlds. But I will answer your question first. I think probably the memory that stands out, and there's so many, like so many people have said, but I think the memory that stands out most for me is the first time I ever walked into Springfield. You know, because up until Springfield, you know, you'd been to shows and you'd met friends, but Springfield was that realization how big this community really is. Like, Springfield just put everything in perspective. Like, this is such a massive hobby. You know, I think, you know, I kind of divide things into, you know, life before Springfield and life after Springfield. And, you know, it's just such an overwhelming experience. And to meet in the back rooms and the Facebook groups, and then, you know, to suddenly experience that this is, you know, such a big community with so many amazing people. So I think that's, you know, I could talk about trains I've chased and, you know, things like that, but I think that first time that you sort of see, you know, the full breadth of Springfield is probably what stands out in my mind. And Dan, and for everyone else who haven't been there, it's definitely worth attending.
I still remember my first time going into the show and walking into those, like, where your booth was the first time, was the first doors that I ever walked through into that show. And I walked in and I had to stop, and it was just, it didn't matter where you look, it was all trains and people. And like you said, how big is the hobby?
Yeah.
And how big is the community and everything else? And it was just I think that year I did go, it was actually 5 buildings. And in awe, I was there for both days doing the show, and I still couldn't cover it all. And even going with you the last couple of times, you can't cover it all. It doesn't matter. So
no, and you know, and you realize that it's like it's a whole 16, 20,000 people who are just as awesome and odd as you are.
What, the Colorado show is this weekend coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I'd love to be doing Rocky Mountain. It's
That's
like
another show that's going to be really big. So.
Rocky Mountain's amazing. It
Yeah.
is. The only reason I didn't go this year, other than the fact that you can't do everything as much as you want to, is that I was at Colorado twice last year. So there's no way, there's just too many places to be. I mean, if I did Denver twice last year, I got to give it a break, but I'd love to go back next year. And I'm really happy to hear that you're considering St. Louis, because that was a highlight from last year. I thought that was just an amazing event.
Yeah, like you said, you and I will talk about that. James threw the invite out when I was at Springfield and said I could stay at his place and stuff. And it's like,
it's amazing. Yeah. It is. I'd been to a couple of RPMs before, but I'd never been to an RPM like that. And the creativity, I mean, it's inspiring. There are just so many amazing models on display. It's like going to an art gallery or museum and just spend hours just looking at all these creations.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that too. So,
oh yeah, I did a really good walkthrough video last year of some of the models on the tables. If you want a sort of a taste of what you can see, there was a guy that built a full replica scale model of the space shuttle being lifted by cranes. You know, when they lift the space shuttle to put it on the 747. I mean, there was stuff like that was just mind blowing.
Yeah,
one guy modeled an entire barge, like HO scale, 1/87 scale, a barge on the Mississippi River.
It was. And if you say at Ken's place or go to Ken's place, you'll see that all the time. So
yeah, that was fun too. I mean, there's one of those layouts and people that you watch on YouTube from when I was for the last 10 years, and to actually see these things in person is kind of fun.
Well, Ken doesn't actually show his whole layout ever. On
no, it's really impressive. It's funny because it really is a pretty good layout. Like there's a lot of stuff that's really fun to see, and you never really get to see it until you're in it.
Yeah, I think I was on his 34th show or 38th show or something like that. But
oh wow!
Back in that day, I actually did post a video. I walked his whole layout, and it's pretty amazing. So
yeah,
I'm sure it's changed by then. That's going back at least 5-6 years. So
yeah, back when we were all younger.
Yeah, wow. So with your birthday show, that's what date? That's the first Wednesday of the month.
Yeah, so this coming Wednesday, I will have Nick from ITLA on. He will be a guest because we're giving away his kit. I'm going to have, I think, Chris Palmieri from Home Shops on because I'm giving away some of his cars. He's going to try and make it, although he'll be packing up and heading out to the show. So I guess Denver's not this weekend. It's next weekend.
Yeah.
I think it's the 4th, 5th type thing. So yeah, it's the weekend after my broadcast. I'm going to have Ian on, the Australian I talked about, who did the painting. And if you haven't seen those painted jobs on the Mini Prince Modelers group that he posted, oh my God, can this guy paint?
Yeah.
Oh, so the guy's amazing. I mean, I've never seen anyone paint figures like this. And we're going to do giveaways, and I'm going to have some special announcements. And it's going to be the typical sort of hour of fun, silliness, giveaways, announcements. There'll be cake. Virtually.
Cake, yeah, I was gonna say cake's good. I might have to show up then.
Yeah. Come on down. And it's gonna be the big birthday celebration, giveaway, etc.
Well, just remember you don't have to hold it to an hour because I'm sitting at 2.5 hours. So
this one will probably go over, although there are people on after me because Wednesdays are getting busy.
Yeah.
So there's no way it'll be an hour. It'll definitely go longer than that, but I do want to be respectful of people who, everyone has their time slot and nobody wants to hear anyone drone on for 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
or
true enough.
2 hours, 29 minutes, and 32 seconds.
That's why I brought 9 people up.
Exactly.
I got to shut up. So. All right, Bernard. Well, hopefully everybody shows up, enters your. You can throw that link one more time up there, and people
Sure.
can enter your contest there because that.
Yeah.
is
It's just a
amazing.
bit of fun, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so thankful to everybody who has supported this crazy little idea of mine. And so I know you like to give back. So I actually, you did inspire this. I thought, why not throw a few things out? And here, I'll do the link right now. There you go. And yeah, have a bit of fun.
Cool. I did kind of hear that quite a bit tonight. As it was either me or Heath that was to blame for people getting into this community as far as they do. So. And
Yeah, there's a lot of
definitely not a bad
blame.
thing.
There's a lot of blame to go around.
Yeah, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's a great community to be part of.
It
The
is.
nicest people you'll ever meet, for sure. Every once in a while, like you said, we're talking about the blues or whatever. There's been things about negative comments that come out and stuff like that. But again, the people that are actually part of the community, they're the ones that matter.
Yeah.
And you're not getting the negative comments and stuff from them. So.
No, and there's always someone that says something that gets under your skin, but they don't typically tend to be the people that you see, on a regular basis. They're the periphery. They're the people that kind of lurk in the dark shadows and
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, not the people that you would necessarily see on. I mean, there's a bunch of people that you just see every night on every broadcast, and it's great. I mean, it's it's like, we like to hang out.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a good community and learn lots that way anyway. And what else are you gonna do? Go to the bar every night? So this is cheaper.
No, I prefer to drink at home.
Yeah, same here. All right, Bernard.
All right, and
Thanks
on
for
an
joining in, bud.
unrelated note, you and I have got it. We should put our heads together and chat one of these days offline about a million other things.
Yeah, we do have quite a bit coming down the pipe. So
Yep, it's going to be a busy April, May, June, July, August, and September.
it is so.
It's going to go by like that.
It does every year. So, and I was even trying to tone it down this year. Like I
Derek's
said.
comment, Sparky, you are one of the ambassadors of the hobby.
Everybody is, not just me. So it's all about everybody.
Yep.
I just give it a platform every once in a while for everybody to hang out. Or at
Well,
least 9
thanks for
people.
inviting me on.
All right, it's great having you. You hit the red button and get the hell out.
All right. I'm getting the hell out. Bye.
Thanks, Bernard. Brings me back to the one kind of story Nathan was talking about is a couple of people coming up to him and saying, "Are you Nathan DeLay?" And I still remember the first time that happened to me was at a train show, and it was at Woodstock. And I'm walking, and I noticed a couple of people following me around, and I was kind of creeped out about it. New to the YouTube thing, right? And walking around, looking at things, and finally the guy tapped me and said, "Hey, are you Sparky 107 107?" I turned around and went, "Yeah, why?" And he's just like, "I see you on YouTube. I just wanted to meet you." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." Like, I didn't put 2 and 2 together right off the bat. Like I said, I was pretty new at it and stuff like that. Learning lesson, right? Yes. I don't know, but doing the meet and greets, doing the train shows, going to people's houses, people coming here. As Anthony says, we open up our doors to everybody. We don't even know you. You don't know them. It's happened to me a few times. Like I said, going over to the UK. It's just a wonderful community, and to get to know everybody in it is amazing. So from me, I want to say thank you very much to everybody in the community. No matter who you are, you do mean something to me, and you are a big help to me no matter what. That's all I got for you tonight. Hopefully you like the show. I was actually going to introduce my Teespring store tonight. So Heath does have up new shirts for my new YouTube meet and greet coming up. I guess I'm going to have to post a video for that. But hey, go to my homepage, click on the Teesprings account, go all the way down to the bottom, and there'll be new shirts out for the YouTube meet and greet for this year. You guys are going to be pretty impressed. Heath did a great job on these ones. They're amazing. So, yeah, go get some. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thanks very much for joining. I know it's long-winded, hour and 30 or 2 hours 35 minutes. Lots of great information. Basically getting to meet a lot of the YouTubers tonight. It was pretty cool. I love it. Thanks for joining in there, Ravenhawk 6910. Nice to see you popping in. And still quite a few of the same people in the chat. Derek Alexander, hi, buddy. And without scrolling through too much, Ken Amos Jr., B&O, always good to bump into you at the shows and in here too, bud. And Dan, CSX, I know a couple people too that have that 5-foot long train station. So pretty cool. Show some more videos of yours, bud. I like it. He did a good job on yours. So, and Ron already ordered a t-shirt. Right on. That's cool. So yeah, I'll post a video of that. I was going to do it tonight, but like I said, this one, well, hey, I had a great time tonight. So thanks everybody. And we'll talk to you later on. Hey, he's Sidetrack 77. Yeah, I remember you were way back there in the chat, but never did say hi. So hi. Thanks everybody. Bye for now. Bye.